Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 15 of season 1 of Realms of Refuge for Those We've Lost. And we're going to start things a little differently today. We're going to start with a cutaway to last episode. Last episode, all of those who had the blessing of the Mother were once again teleported into their minds by the mysterious hooded figure who tried to call upon them all to come to the source and liberate it from some unknown horrific tragedy. Althana was the only one who managed to get close enough that when eventually this red mask fell down between them and pushed the others out of the way, her soul was separated from her body and taken somewhere else. And we're actually going to start from there. Althana, when you crossed that barrier, you didn't notice the mask coming down because the hooded figure reached out and touched your shoulder, and everything went bright white. And now you feel grass, dirt. You're laying on the ground. What's your first reaction?
This actually feels comfortable.
And this grass is purple.
Okay, that's a little strange, but it's comfortable.
When eventually, when you manage to look up at the sky is honestly kind of creepy to look at. There's no clouds. It almost looks like you were looking at an ocean, but rather than blues and greens, it's whites and golds in this sort of gently undulating patterns that just cast down this everlasting light upon the land.
Okay, that's just weird.
And there are trees here with purple leaves, pale white bark, and just off in a bare spot in this thicket, you see a fire, like a campfire, and a man and his horse sitting by it.
Well, I guess I'll go up and visit the gentleman.
You approach, and the man's of darker complexion, and he looks either like he's led a pretty rough life or he's getting on in years. His face is a little haggard and has the wear lines of time. He's got a very thin white mustache, and he's wearing a hat over his hair, but little bits of it that peek out, also white. And he's sitting there looking into the fire and smoking from his pipe. And he hears you approach and looks at you and is like, "Huh, a lone lady, what are you doing out at this time of night?"
I'm really not sure. I just got here. Yeah.
He kind of quirks his eyes, it then leans back and looks around. "Just got here, but from where, huh?"
I was in a on a world that was full of sort of there were talking fish. Geez, that's the only thing I can truly remember.
Oh,
They were fun.
sounds like you've been a little too deep in the bottle, lass. Ah, well, this is no time of night for anyone to be wandering around alone. Come, sit down by the fire.
And she goes over and has a seat.
So, where are you from? Are you from Eldrith? Are you from Coldria?
From the Sword Coast.
There's no place called the Sword Coast. Got something to hide? Yeah, he's
This is
definitely
weird.
giving you curious looks now because he's not sure what to think of you. Right. Uh, have you got business over at the tower? And he points over, and you're not sure how you missed this, but you look over, and the crystal tower that you remember seeing and being inside back in Refuge, or at least on one of the land moats in that realm, is there.
Yes, I believe that's where I do have business.
Well, I was just going to finish me pipe and I was going to head that way. It'd be best if we go sooner rather than later, lest some sin eaters find us.
Somewhat.
Oh, he just laughs. He's like, ain't that the oldest joke in the book? Ah, listen, sinner. Sin eaters are just a part of life. Don't matter where you go, as long as you're under this accursed light, you're going to find their white, feathery hides.
She looks totally confused.
It's this time you hear. Actually, no, give me a perception check, specifically for. We'll say this is for hearing. Eh, it takes a while for you to notice. He notices first, looks over your shoulder, and looks just paralyzed with fear. And that's when you hear wings gently coming from behind you.
I turn around and look up.
What you see is horrifying to behold. It looks like it has the face of a person, completely stark white with black eyes and what look to be black tear marks streaking down from it on an elongated neck connected to an emaciated body. But its arms and legs are more like something you would see on a gargoyle. Long, gangly, and disproportionate, ending all four ending in three distended claws with a pair of white feathery wings on its back. And as it notices you, you just hear it.
I take it that's not something good.
It's a sin eater. Don't let it touch you. And he's already trying to run and just get what he can on his horse and get out of dodge. And this thing's not moving particularly quickly. It almost looks like it's sickly or hungry.
Yeah, I'll start running too.
As the two of you, like, he reaches down and sees if you'll take his hand so he can just haul you up onto the horse.
Well, I'm not resisting or anything. Yeah, I'll go up.
That horse takes off through the rest of this thicket, and it's not long before you're back on the main road, and you see up above, you hear more sounds, and there are other of these horrific nightmare creatures flying by, all of them being led by what looks like your stereotypical armor wielding, sword and shield angel, but with the same completely white from top to bottom, save for these empty black eyes. And they're all flying off towards the gate to the city that the tower seems to be built, or that has been built around the tower. As you see guards rushing out carrying things like crossbows, bows, some are wielding staffs and wands and are just throwing out anything they can to down these things as you see one swoops down, grabs a hold of someone, and flies off, dropping him so that he'll die on impact. And that's when you notice that the hooded figure from these strange dreams is walking out amongst this carnage. Like he's leaving from the city.
Okay.
And the man just rushes past because he wants to get past that gate as soon as he can. That's when you see the stranger holds up his staff, taps it to the ground, and this bright blue barrier erects itself over the city. And no matter how badly these angels try to slam against it or scratch at it, or the big angel slice at it with her sword, nothing seems to get through. And the man eventually slows down, kind of in awe of the shield, as the stranger approaches you, with a small smile on his face, and is like, I had hoped to grab more than one of you.
Yeah, I think that's when I notice the others are not with me. It's like, where's the others?
That I cannot say. Something blocked me off before I could pull their souls along to the source. And he holds out his hand, which this hand that he's holding out is completely made of crystal to, help you off the horse.
Yeah, I'll take his hand and climb off the horse.
And it feels like it's made of crystal. It's cold to the touch. It's rough. But he helps you off and starts walking back towards the tower, and the rest of the scene says, "Come along. There's much to discuss and little time." And with that, we have a hard cut to the title, back to the city of Sanctuary. And we're going to see what everybody else is up to now that they're back from their Japantasyland adventures. So I'm just going to go by and see what everybody's doing the morning after. And we'll start with Fox. What's Fox doing? Oh god, all these tokens are still here.
Tokens.
Sorry, Flumph.
Ooh,
Doc?
Doc.
Alright, what's Pitiful up to?
Pitiful. Pitiful is currently. That's a good question. You know what? I think he's actually not in town. He's probably in the Namazu town, like passed out on the roof of one of their buildings.
Yeah, they're
He's
just
just,
staring
yeah,
up at you, once trying desperately to poke at you with a stick, but you probably keep moving out of the way.
yeah, oh yeah. somehow just, either through fortune or preternatural awareness, no one can really tell what, because he never seems to open his eyes until he's ready to. But he's he's on top of one of the buildings, passed out.
Yeah, and they're just like, this is the work of the gods.
I love the Namazu.
It's just, I think at some point he probably does wake up, not even realizing he's dodging, or apparently not even realizing he's dodging, like people trying to poke up to the ceiling with a stick. Um, looks around, yawns, realizes where he's at, pulls out a bottle of wine, takes a big long drink, and you know what? I think probably he's gonna start playing the lute.
And
Just
like the ones except for the one whose house you're on just go yay, and the one whose
just
house is you're on is he's got this real grumpy face and he's like, this is the work of someone who's going to break my roof.
yeah. So Pitiful is just sitting up there playing the lute. He's
Uh,
I think he did pay attention to the music that they played when they started partying when we first met them. So he's actually replicating
I know what you mean.
that to the best of his ability. So, I mean, obviously he doesn't have like a flute or half the other instruments, but he's replicating on the lute, whatever the lute parts might have been, or you
The
know,
closest that you can.
the closest that he can.
It's
So
a
yeah,
great
that's what
cover.
he's doing.
Everybody loves it. In the
He's just
background, you hear, "Bring the band!"
They've heard it like 5 times and they still love it. It's the only song Pitiful.
Well, Pitiful knows the lusty dwarf and the lusty dwarf and the elven wench too. But this
Oh
is
wait, no, you're playing the Namazus.
yeah, I'm playing the Namazu.
Oh,
Pitiful
that's
is playing
good.
the Namazu. He does learn things. He's intelligent. He just can't communicate with original thought.
That's fair.
These are two personalities I like seeing bounce off each other. Is Pitiful and the Namazu.
Because Pitiful is generally mostly oblivious to what not oblivious, but seems to be oblivious to whatever the situation calls for. He just does what he does, you know.
He just do what he do.
He just kind of whatever he feels like doing, or whatever he can copy doing that seems right.
And I feel like we back out from the shot of this one Namazu still desperately trying to get you off his roof, while the others have run off to inform King Gyodo to break out the band. And we see like the cutaway is like on the other side of the river. There's like a deer that crosses the screen or something. As we see the sort of haphazardly placed buildings of the original construction of Refuge before everything kind of got settled and codified, if you will. We see the sun has risen over the east. And, Susano, are you awake yet?
Yeah, actually, he is.
Shock.
I know, he's actually sitting out in the distance, kind of away from the town. Snake's coiled up around him. He's got a hand on Snake's head, and the bow is just sitting in his lap. And he's just watching the sunrise. It's not something he's used to, and he's kind of getting used to it.
It's a really pretty sunrise this morning.
He's just kind of a little bit in a mood today. Not like a upset mood or anything, just different.
Alright. And what is our favorite wizard up to?
Oh, Tiff?
Yep.
Oh, she's my favorite.
Well, she's the only PC wizard.
Yeah. Tiff kind of. She's very drunk and clearly has not gone to sleep, right? She like busts her head out of the like her house, and you see her like squint like up at the sun. She like takes that gourd of sake, like tries to take a drink, and then realizes it's empty, and like kind of empties it out, or kind of like holds it open over the ground, right? And nothing comes out. She kind of stumbles out the door, leaving it open behind her, and wanders over to the Parson's Rest.
Just a very quick note is when you leave your house. Okay, what the hell is that and why won't it go away? Never mind. Celadol is out No, not on top of the Parsons Rest.
Hmm.
Out in front of the fountain. He's like sitting on the fountain, just kind of staring into the water. He looks a little moody himself.
Man, we're
Yeah.
all in a mood today.
Tiff is not really reacting to Celadol's presence. She
Nor he to
continues on her
you.
path. Huh?
Nor he to you.
Yeah. She continues to stumble to the Parsons Rest. What time in the morning is it?
Probably 8:30.
Yeah, no, she's at the Parsons Rest.
Yeah, and like at first the doors shut, and like you
Mhm.
kind of push on it, and you're a little too drunk to work the handle,
Yeah.
and you go to like really push at it, and it just opens, and Wall Scratch had opened it for you.
Yeah. Tiff like tumbles in and lands perfectly on her butt, sort of thing, like one of those like lands sitting up. Kind of like looks around, very like, oh shit. Like she gets up and she's like, "Hey, Wall Scratch, how you doing?"
It's far too early, son, for having drinks.
No, Wall Scratch. Wall Scratch, what are you talking about? It's not too early. Here, and Tiff like pulls out just like a fucking gold coin from one of the worlds and hands it to Wall Scratch and is like, set me up with like two shots of whatever's strongest.
He looks over the coin, he looks at you and looks at the coin. You look so torn. He wants to do the good
Yeah.
thing of, saying, no, you had enough, clearly.
Yeah.
And then he just, like, his ears fold back because he goes, yes. And then just slinks over to the bar and starts making your drinks. And that's when you know Sashiro is passed out at the bar.
Yeah. She sits right beside him and is like, what a shitty day, eh? And like slides her fist and like barely touches Sajiro on the arm.
Whoosh has your hand. And he's like,
yeah.
oh. And he like stops and like rubs at his head. And it's like, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. That was really fucking cool. How do you do that?
Years of training.
Wow. I wish I could be that well trained. Has he gotten me my shots yet?
Yeah, he's like setting out one, then the next. That's when you probably notice that Sujiro is like cradling Getsuyu's sake gourd.
Yeah. Tiff isn't gonna attempt to engage in that. Yeah, even in her incredibly drunken state, she's like, Sashiro still needs time before he's gonna talk to anyone, and the first person he should not talk to is me right now.
Wow, she has
she like
common decency and grace even when drunk.
hey, that's Tiff is still a people person. Even when drunk. She takes the shots, throws one back, throws the next back, and goes, "Thanks, Wall Scratch. I'll be back a little bit later. But for now, bye." And like just like starts walking out the door.
Be good, safe.
Yeah. And she like turns back and gives the like biggest like drunken like thumbs up eye like bad wink noise thing, and then like walks her way out the door and starts making her way to Refuge Hall.
Yeah, it's about this time that Celadol finally like looks up at you, and he's doing okay, all things considered, like physically.
Yeah.
The big cut he had under his left eye from where Job just like fucking punched him with his shield.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously going to leave a permanent scar.
Right.
But he just kind of looks at you a little confused. It's like,
Tiff like
what are you doing?
stares over. Sorry, what?
He just asks, what are you doing?
Tiff like looks over him, gives him a big grin, and is like, "I'm doing myself," and just like continues to walk.
And he's like, he's just gonna start like, he just sighs. gets up and starts just following behind you. Not really doing anything, but he's making sure you don't do anything completely stupid.
Well, he's about to see me do something completely stupid. Tiff's gonna go up to the normal speaking place. She's gonna cast Thaumaturgy on herself. And she's
Oh
gonna
god.
go, "Attention! People of Refuge! How we doing?" Sort of thing.
Yeah, like,
Um,
the only people that come out are, like, adventurers who are in the adventure hall. You hear a
Yeah.
very angry scrump off in the distance. Ah,
Yeah.
shut up!
And she's like, "I just want to say, you guys have been doing great. It's really, really good. We're doing good here. We're doing good, and we just want to make a community for all of you. I just want to help everyone so bad. We're doing good. We couldn't get Shamash. We couldn't get Othon. We couldn't get Gasuyu. But we're doing good, sort of thing. And she's just like starting to break down.
Yeah, Seldon's
like clearly big tears going down her face.
He's gonna do his best, and he's surprisingly strong.
Yeah.
Like, he packs this all in, like, a very thin, wiry frame, but he's just going to try and gently pick you up and start backing you off.
I mean, I'm not resisting, but I'm still thaumaturged.
Yeah, but he's like, if I get
Yeah.
her inside, at least that will deaden it a little bit.
Yeah, and she's just like, "There's nothing like home, and you're all home. This is home now. We don't have old home. We've got new home." Sort of thing. Just like screaming that sort of thing.
You got new, Dad!
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, we got a new home. And that's good enough, sort of thing.
Oh, Tiff, no.
Yeah, and like the camera pans over to all of the adventurers who came out of the hall, and they just look baffled by what just
Yeah.
happened. And
Tiff
Radist is
definitely-
like standing outside the hall because he came running when he heard whatever the hell was going on, and he just looks like, oh my god, why?
And one last thing before Tiff finishes what she says.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Oh, phew." And just like throws up all over herself, the ground, and probably on Celadol.
Yeah, he drops and he's like, oh god!
Yeah, and Tiff is now completely out cold.
Jesus. Tiff, no.
Yeah, Tiff's having a hard time, guys. I don't know if you can tell or not.
Yeah, he's like trying to get it on. He's like, oh god, she got it on my leathers. That's ruined.
Yeah. That's all Tiff's gonna do for the next probably like 10 hours.
Yeah, and like Radist and another character who you guys haven't seen before, who looks like a standard humanoid, green eyes with black slits for pupils, long black
what
hair.
a good first impression.
And he's wearing like explorer's gear, you know, leather armor. He's
Yeah.
got a pair of binoculars of all things around his neck, and various pouches and accoutrements.
Mm-hmm.
And they, like, together, he and Zelda, like, pick you up and carry you back to your house.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I fall asleep. I'm still asleep. They probably put me on my bed and I'm done.
Susano, you probably heard that. Because she thaumaturgied herself.
Yeah. He kind of looks back.
Oh, well, if only this song had been on when she had her breakdown.
Right.
Song?
Yeah, he just looks back
Right,
and
I have music playing for the campaign.
Oh, nothing's.
he looks like he's about to get up, and then he just kind of turns back. He's got her little dice that she gave him in his hand, and it's cracked in half, so he's like tied it together with string. And so he's just kind of hesitating and just he's sitting there. He's meditating and contemplating life right now. about in the same mood as she is, but not as depressed. More of just everything's hitting him. You know, he can't be the just free living kind of guy he was, especially after
Yeesh.
the whole last world incident thing.
Uh, what is Yeah, what is Sakura? This has been your first night here after coming to this place. Ooh, and you just got woken up by that. What like what are your first impressions so far?
That girl needs to learn how to hold her liquor better.
Silent thumbs up.
All right.
Well, I guess she's with the adventurers that came out of the adventure hall that has the same confused look on her face.
Oh yeah, and you're like the smallest person there. There's like a half orc, an elf, a couple humans, a dragonborn, and you've probably never seen like a half orc or a dragonborn before.
Probably not.
Yeah, one's a
Drink.
giant green scary thing, and the other's just a giant lizard.
God, you guys are big. Wow.
Thanks.
No problem.
Yeah, and the half orc is just proud because he's like, me big,
Way big.
me big.
Did you say Zug Zug?
You're not that kind of orc.
Gosh.
So,
LOL.
so yeah, what is this absolute monstrosity that Fox is doing over here?
He's drawing his old land. He's been placing tile.
I've just got a bunch of chalk.
No, not chalk. He's
I-
literally making.
I know, it's just the joke, like he's drawing chalk on a pavement. Yeah.
No. Old world map.
What are you thinking about Tiff just having like a mental breakdown and then thaumaturgying herself?
Another day, same shit.
Time should ever die.
SSDD.
Not the first time it's happened, so it's not shocking.
This is the first time it's happened on this big of a scale, though.
That's fair.
Tiff kind of usually just.
Yeah,
I'd
and
probably halt and look out like my small little chimney roof real quick and see where they're going, and if they're going away from the bar, I'm not bothering.
yeah, just this Raddist and this other person are taking her to her house.
Yeah, well, then probably just let them. I'd just leave it be. It's not my place.
Alright, and to our unintroduced party member, Squeak Squigums. Tell us a little bit about. Let's get the audience introduced to Squeak Squigums. Who are you?
Okay.
Where are you from? What you do? What's your favorite shoe size?
How did Squeak get here, perchance?
Squeak's world would have been in some kind of calamity caused by these characters called the Klapoth, and she was rescued by a girl in white named Bina who teleported you here, right when you would have died. The exact details I leave up to you.
Well, that's the thing. She doesn't really remember. She has vague details about what happened beforehand, but most of it's super hazy. She doesn't actually remember much of anything. But Squeak is a gnome. She stands about gnome height and is about gnome weight because I didn't think about that. She's wearing this tiny set of half plate armor. She's probably sitting at the bar right now. She's wearing half plate armor. She's got a giant, for her, great axe sitting at her side, and she's drinking out of a rather odd-looking tanker. It's about as big as her face, and it's got a some sort of face emblazoned on the side of the cup, and she's drinking very heavily out of it. She's kind of come here out of desperation. Desperation. She has no clue where she is really, where she came from, uh, the people she might have known. She doesn't have any of those memories.
Interesting. An amnesiac.
If that's what you want to call it, she prefers to think of it as a forget.
PTSD.
Does Pitiful ever wander his happy little feather butt home?
Oh, I think at some point, but I don't know exactly why or when yet. 'Cause, I mean, I'm sure that like he gets bored with playing the lute at some point, but I'm trying to think about what would actually drag him back to the actual city.
I have alcohol.
More booze?
Well, I'm assuming the Namazu have some too.
That's true.
But
Theirs
no,
tastes like fish, though.
you know what? I think he probably does. You know what? I think he probably goes back to see what Susanna's up to. Honestly, it starts off he's just stumbling around like fucking what like chasing some animal or just doing some weird shit, following the river just on a whim or whatever. And
I'd say if you're
eventually he's
chasing
like,
an animal,
huh?
if you're chasing an animal, it probably runs to me. That would probably make sense. 'Cause
Yeah,
I have
it's
that
like
whole
save me from the bird.
Yeah, I'm not, and he's not like chasing it maliciously. Just kind
Yeah.
of like, where are you going? And it keeps moving faster. So Pitiful keeps moving faster, and then it's like a chase that was never meant to actually be a chase. It's just he just wants to know where the animal's going.
It's gotten all caught up into much more than it originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this thing keeps following me, and somehow it's faster than me, and I'm a fucking deer. What the hell?
Right? Just like, how is this fucking little bird man keeping up? I don't know. And the worst part is he's drunk, so he looks drunk while he's doing it. So it really makes no sense that he's able to keep up. Because occasionally he falls down, picks himself back up. Somehow he's right back up front, like, where you going? Kind of thing.
Curious birdie.
Yeah.
Curiosity.
Killed the bird.
Bird?
I think probably as soon as he sees, as probably as soon as like he comes anywhere within range of seeing Susano, he'll probably just stumble over to Susano, and like offer him a drink of wine.
He puts out his hand. He's like, thanks, Pitiful, but I'm good.
He shrugs and just takes a drink. And sits down. Awkwardly.
Awkwardly. The animal's probably like walked up to Susano, staring at you, and he just puts out a hand and feeds it some random like bread that he has laying around. And he's like, why are you chasing animals around, Pitiful?
He's like, he just kind of like twitches his head in that weird bird-like way and looks at you for a second, like trying to think of something that would be appropriate, and then either gives up or can't think of something.
Right.
Wait a minute, hold on. Maybe there is something. Hold on. I wrote down a bunch of shit last week, things that he knows how to say that just for fun. Let's see if any of those actually. No, he looks at the at the animal, and he says in like a perfect imitation of the mole rider that we met in their lands, the one that thought thought he was funny because he burped and just goes, I like this one.
Well, look, you're scaring him.
he kind of twitches his head a couple times and looks at you for a minute, and he goes, and I think the closest thing that he can, yeah, he can't come up with anything close enough, or either that, or he just gives up before coming up with something, and he just kind of shrugs.
Bet I can't use my little animal thing on you. Understand
Right?
what you're wanting to say?
He just kind of
That's the challenge of the Kinku, baby.
Right?
no, no. Literally, it was the reason I ended up picking it up because I saw I thought about it because I was thinking about doing Kenku, and then I looked at all of the craziness. God, that's gonna be so hard to communicate. And then I saw the drunken master thing. It was like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like I know what my character is.
Yeah,
uh,
like reaches into his pocket and pulls out some like dried jerky or something. He's like, "You hungry?"
I think Pitiful will take the preferred jerky.
You want some jerky, boy?
And he's just, you know, I mean, he pretty much depends on like fucking people giving him shit. I mean, he's kind of, if he weren't an adventurer with you guys, it's entirely possible that everyone would have written him off as just a town drunk and homeless person. Because it- if they hadn't sent him out to fight with you guys and you guys hadn't realized, oh, he has some skills, he would have easily probably passed off as just a bum in the town. Yeah, so he kind of, yeah, he'll take the jerky and nibble on it as best he can.
Kind of, it's quiet for a moment. I'm assuming because Pitiful doesn't have much to say. He can say.
Yeah.
And he's gonna stand up. He's like, "Well, I probably should go see to Tiff. I think she's a little bit out of it right now."
I think Pitiful replies with, "We have persimmons," and stands up to follow you.
God damn it! Little mellow moment.
Susanna wants to be a mopey.
No, not mopey. That's the thing. It's not moping. It's coming to terms, like realizing
No,
Yeah.
reality's
it's the
hidden
fact
behind.
that his character is in a very serious headspace,
Mhm.
and Pitiful is just throws that whole thing off because of his limited ability to communicate
Yeah.
and his otherwise odd reactions. You do get like maybe as because he follows you is going if you go to
Yeah.
Tiff's, maybe on like a there is a moment where like uh where Pitiful looks at you, it like stops and looks at you and says in a voice you like that you've heard before because you've heard him say this before, but you don't have any context to where it's from. Like you can guess about where another round for the funny birdie probably came from.
All right.
This one you have no idea where he got it from, and it's a female's voice. Is nothing good ever comes from the gods, and he kind of goes and if, and there's like a moment where he seems like he's very serious. Um, but what right when it's at that edge of how much is how much does he understand and what exactly is he trying to express here, or where that there's that moment of like, oh, there's a deeper thought going on in his head.
Yeah.
He stops and he looks at you and and for a minute he twitches a couple of times, lets out that belching sound that you can never tell if it's a real burp or if it's just him imitating one, and takes another drink and stumbles over.
The inner machinations of my mind are an.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh
Susanna
yeah.
just goes,
Yeah.
"I think you might be right."
And just,
Accurate.
yeah, he kind of yeah, he falls over in a fairly comical manner after uttering this and then belching or burping or whatever the noise is supposed to be. And picks himself back up and continues to follow.
Nice. How much does Tiff weigh?
Tiff
Never ask a
weighs.
woman that.
Out of
Ain't a- There's a difference.
Oh god. Firefox
wait,
is
what?
frozen.
Let's see here.
Enjoy.
I have it written down. I think Tiff weighs. I guess I didn't write it down. I think Tiff weighs about 50 pounds.
Yeah, I was like, halflings aren't too bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
She probably 45. You know, because like your average thin halfling is about
Right.
30 pounds, but she's got some pounds on her.
she's got that beer weight.
Yeah, no, she loves to eat, and her metabolism isn't 200% halfling. It's like 175% halfling.
Nice. Yeah, so, shit, he's probably, Celadol dropped her off in her bed, right?
Yeah, Radiston, the other one,
Right,
did. And
yeah.
the other one is talking with Celadol at the fountain.
He's just gonna nod to the two as he goes to her place.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah, and you would immediately notice that the other one does have snake eyes.
oh yeah, he looks
Mm-hmm.
like Snake. He makes a mental note. I should talk to that one later.
I like snakes.
A lot of Snakes. And does Tiff have like a tea kettle?
Probably. Yeah. I can't imagine she wouldn't by this point have most of your average halfling house sundries. So a whole bunch of random bullshit that she probably doesn't need and serves very little non-niche purpose. So yeah, she probably has like a tea kettle in there, sure.
Yeah,
She's
so he'll,
also
like,
probably got like a small ever-burning candle of some variety just to like act as a stove.
yeah, he'll get some water heating up.
Mm-hmm.
He'll walk over to her, and
By the way, Tiff this is the most pathetic you have ever seen her look. She's in completely ragged clothes. She clearly hasn't bathed even since after that battle, so she smells of death. And now she's also coated in a fresh layer of like vomit.
he's gonna draw a bath.
Okay.
He knows Tiff is normally clean.
Yeah.
And so he's just gonna pick her up, clothes and all, and just kind of drop her into the bath.
As soon as you drop her in the bath, she's like, yeah, what's going on? Like looks at the bath and then looks at you in the bath and then looks back at you and is like, what are you doing?
Oh, like you need to clean up a bit.
She like looks at herself, smells herself, and she's like, oh god, my head hurts so bad.
Speaking of, he'll put a hand to her forehead and use lesser restoration.
Oh, no.
Okay, sure.
One condition afflicting her, which would be probably hangover.
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, it would cure poison, and alcohol is basically a poison,
Yeah.
so.
kind of make her feel better.
Yeah, she feels a little better.
Obviously
she,
not
like,
mentally, but
You notice Pitiful is sitting on your rafters.
I like look up, I'm like, oh hey Pit. Yeah, I'm still a little bit drunk, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm disgusting. Hey, does yeah, like, hey, do you guys want to exit my house for like 10 minutes? I'm friends of you guys, but I don't want you taking a peek at me like this. Maybe some other time.
Blushes red as he just turns away real quick, and he's just like, "I got some tea on the kettle," and he's pointing to the side toward kind of where it is. He doesn't even know.
Yeah.
And just
Tiff
kinda,
at this point is already like taking her. Both of you gonna leave.
he shuffles out.
Does Pitt leave?
Yeah, but you look
Yeah.
up again and Pitt's already gone. Like
okay.
he's essentially a follower. Like you give him an order, he typically just does it unless there's some pressing reason, not to.
Like, yeah, he's not gonna walk directly into a fire, but if hey, go scout. Yeah, I mean, doesn't look that bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Tiff takes a bath and fucking pours herself some tea. And uses prestidigitation to clean her clothes. And basically makes a bath bomb with druidcraft because she knows that now.
God damn it.
And takes a very relaxing herbal bath.
A bath bomb. I love it.
Yeah. Just a whole bunch of nice herbs and stuff.
Herbs and spices. 12 of them.
12. Tiff is becoming a fucking Kentucky Fried.
What in the hot and crispy Kentucky Fried fuck is going on here?
Snake.
Yeah,
Snake is like looking over at Snake Boy.
Yeah, and yeah, you two leave, and yeah, he's just talking with Seldal, and Seldal seems a lot happier than he was before, and there's no more vomit on his clothes because someone else knows prestidigitation.
Nice.
Yeah, like, he
Yes.
probably sees you two, well, three if you count Snake, and like, waves you over and is like, oh, you guys need to meet him. This is Renage. And he, nods his head to both of you. Isn't it neat? I mean, he's, what do you call it? Yuan Ti. Yeah, look, he's got scales and snake eyes.
Well, he looks like Snake here.
So Pitiful has wanders off and begins to entertain whatever children or fools may be about by the water fountain with a combination of sleight of hand acrobatics and just drunkenly stumbling around, performing feats that look like they should be impossible for someone as intoxicated as him.
Yeah, it's mostly adventurers in this part of town. Most of the civilians stay in an area of
Yeah,
town called the Home Front, which is like the various residential districts they've built up.
hey, I'm sure they adventurers like a bit of
Oh yeah,
entertainment
they
too.
think it's funny. Like they love you, Crazy Bird Man. You're like one of their favorites.
Yep. That's what drunken masters do. They play the fool.
Well, you do
That's
it
funny.
really well, and they appreciate it.
Yeah. So probably when Tavis turns around and thinking Pitiful is right there, he realizes there's a noise over by the other side of the water fountain, and there's Pitiful entertaining a bunch of adventurers.
Okay, so you'll fucking remember me in other games, Travis. Forget me in your own game. Okay.
Ah,
uh,
that's funny.
Call me Tavis.
Sorry, Susano.
Yeah, I'm just giving you shit.
I know, I know. I did mention that I stayed up all night playing Fallout 4, didn't
Yeah.
all right. So, how long is it going to take Tiff to make herself decent?
How long has it been since I've given that speech?
30
Embarrassing
minutes.
factor has to go down.
She's gonna wait until. Well, so first of all, she doesn't remember giving that speech,
Oh dear.
because she's like passed out for 30 minutes. She's still kind of drunk and hasn't had a good night's sleep yet, right? But she's like, I guess I gotta go do shit. Probably be half an hour before she gets out there.
Yeah. So,
She's
Susano,
like running on like fumes and whatever's left of her body.
you actually
Which
get
we've all been there, right?
you?
you actually get a pretty kind of fun conversation between these two. Seldal is talking about the finer points of frontier living, um, and Renage. The more you listen to him, the more he's clearly some kind of historian and explorer. He knows all different kinds of things about ruins and ancient civilizations and things like that. One of which was the Yuan-Ti Empire that apparently in his world tried to rise up, and then a bunch of elves decided to say, no. But he doesn't begrudge the elves. But, and something, actually, roll me a, what would this be? Maybe just a general wisdom check. Let me look at a character sheet real quick.
What's it for?
It's to notice. It's to notice someone.
A detail of what someone's
Yeah,
saying, right?
yeah, like
That would be perception
yeah,
or insight.
Insight.
yeah.
That would be the right one.
Whichever one's higher, I'll let you roll.
I'm literally the same on both, so
Pick one. Oh yeah, Renage is totally like slipping in some flirty comments,
god damn it.
and like Celadol, they just go right over his head. Like he's completely oblivious to them.
Oh, that's great.
Like it's clear that the poor baby has never had to deal with this before.
Yeah.
So Zano, being as blunt and basic as he is, just kind of turns, looks at Salatol, and just like, after a moment watching his face, just like, well, you do know. Oh, okay. Wait, no, that's not my place.
Now what?
Nope, not my place.
Tell me. And Renage
You know,
just looks at you like, what?
looks or not, just like, no. He can explain it later.
He finally gets what you're saying, and like his cheeks turn all pink, and like you can see that the patches of scales along the edge of his hairline. He just looks at you with those snake eyes, like, shut up.
I was just gonna say that it's you do know it's pretty late in the morning, and we should probably he's flustered. He's trying to like he realized he almost made a mistake.
Right. Weren't we going to check on like some kind of building?
Yeah, I think we should get everyone together. Go check on that. Right.
And Renage is like, yes, I'll bring someone myself. And he goes into the bar, and Squeaks, like your only friend here, has been this snake man.
Hey.
He's taken care of you. He's made sure that no one steps on the gnome. You know, he's gotten you acclimated at least enough to where you can live here and not wake up every morning with existential dread.
Honestly, and you probably should, because the only other gnome around here pretty much people hate.
Oh yeah, you've met Barnabas, and you probably hate Barnabas too. But
What's Barnabas like?
He's a blowhard.
yeah, he's a completely self-obsessed blowhard who used to think he was mayor because he just decided he was mayor before people actually voted for one.
Well, and
He's a
Jomesh was
Minecraft gnome. That's what he
Jomesh,
is.
one of my former character, the Fire Genocide, was the first one to call his bullshit and be like, "So you're mayor because you say you are."
And then he
He's
outright
like-
said, "Yeah."
and he's like, "I don't think that's how it works."
And then they
Okay,
had an
so I don't
actual.
like him.
Then they had an actual election. He got fucking stomped in the polls. Like the only person that voted for Barnabas was Barnabas.
Even Scrump didn't vote for him.
Scrump
Tiff
didn't
voted for
vote.
Barnabas, but that's because she knew he would win
Yeah.
and didn't want him to feel that bad.
Scrump didn't even vote. You expect people to go and get Scrump to do something
No,
civic?
fuck that. I
don't-
wouldn't vote.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, as far as I can tell, Scrump just kind of does what Scrump wants to do.
Exactly.
I don't think anybody would actually stop him from voting either. So it just kind of depends on does he feel like voting.
No, that requires effort, which
Oh,
can be
okay.
better spent gathering shrooms and making potions,
Okay. All right.
or generally torturing squirrels.
Now that we know Scrump is apolitical.
The
Scrump
breaking
is
news.
actually he's actually an anarcho isolationist.
No,
we can take
he-
care of the Overton window with this later.
He is an
Once we get into
anarcho-syndicalist.
Anarcho syndicalist?
No, it's just
I would think anarcho isolationist would make more sense.
I was just making a joke about Monty Python.
You know, I bet you that Scrump would be an anarcho-fascist if we really look at it. Which is kind of an opposing viewpoint in and of itself, but it kind of basically would be, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna tell people what to do.
Yeah, that's actually Scrump.
I better
Yeah.
not have the squirrels coming up to me telling me that Scrump's picking on them.
Yeah, they're like, he keeps poking us with sharp things and laughing.
Alrighty, so what does Snake Person want?
Renage basically, like, he comes to you at the bar and is like, this might be a bit of a strange thing to say, but would you mind coming with me and my new friends?
Okay.
We want. I mean, I hate to say it, but it'd be better if you got some friends besides just me and the rat man.
What are you saying, you reprobate?
I'm saying that it's not good to sit around in the bar day in and day out.
Ah!
Why are you saying it's a problem? I've kept my liquor. I've kept myself quiet.
I've heard
Haven't
it
done
all
it.
before.
Haven't done.
I've heard it all before. I don't have a drinking problem. I drink, I fall down, no problem.
Take a swig of this, and she hands him her mug.
And you're
It
literally
takes a
going to,
big swig of it.
and you're
Okay,
literally
so
about to introduce him to the biggest alcoholic in town too. That's great.
so one thing you'll notice is it has the taste, but it doesn't have the burn of alcohol.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, I'm usually pretty good with this stuff. I mean, I spit acid and all, but this isn't booze.
Yeah, it is. Give me something from the bar, and I'll show.
He
He's
just
like,
wants to show off his mug.
can it wait until?
Sorry, it's a she, by the way.
Can I
Oh,
wait?
she.
Can we wait until
Sorry.
after I've introduced you to a band of adventurers who might want someone with a big axe to follow them around and kill things?
Fine, fine. As long as I'm getting paid.
We're getting paid. I think we're
Susanna
getting paid
was-
by having a place to sit and not be out in the cold or dead.
At this point in time, dead's preferable, but let's see if we can go do that out there and not in.
Right, good viewpoint. And he's just gonna take you out, introduce you to everybody. Let's get the band together.
What do I see?
Actually, yeah. Everybody introduce yourselves and what you look like to Squeak Squigums.
Well, I imagine when you walk out the door, probably the biggest spectacle is going on is still probably pitiful. As Kinku, who you're not sure, but you're entirely certain that he's wholly intoxicated, but somehow he's pulling off acrobatic and sleight of hand maneuvers that just being silly and entertaining the crowd. So it's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on there because it shouldn't be possible in his inebriated state. But he's a dark like he's got the typical black feathers, a little bit of graying around the in a couple of spots, but he looks like he's a bit unkempt and wears a tattered gray robe with the hood mostly up most of the time anyway. Um, Except when he's doing falling down or things where gravity prevents it from actually being over his head. Um, but that's and that's probably, and you see him just entertaining a bunch of adventurers, and then I'm sure your attention would wander over to where you're actually being shown to go.
You probably see Tiff kind of still a little bit stumbly, kind of kicking her way out of the out of her house. She's a halfling with this fiery red hair and has this kind of like modern looking coat with like a vest underneath it and like some breeches and boots. She's got like a pin that has like a D6 on it, right? Um, she kind of has this like just this puckish rogue kind of look to her, the kind of person who'd be like, ah, yeah, they're dead. CD shit, probably, She just looks a little bit too unrefined to be completely above the board.
So probably the first thing you actually notice is a giant fucking snake that could probably eat you in one bite, you 3 foot tall motherfucker. No, yeah. So you see a really large snake and a simple looking human man with a hand on its head, just talking with Celadol probably. He's got just brown hair, green eyes that match his snake's. And then he's got an elegant looking bow along his back. And he's wearing just simple plain leathers and cloth. He's not. It doesn't really pull the eye as much as a snake does, for sure. But yeah, and the snake has a giant crystal heart on its forehead.
Yeah, something you notice about all of these guys except Sakura and Pitiful so far is on their forearms, somewhere on the back of their forearms, they have a crystal heart.
Hi. So, this is the delinquent bunch I've been assigned. Turn to my snake friend and say, could you find a sorrier bunch?
I could try if you want. And he gives you a little playful smile with those giant, sharp,
Rolling his
thin
character.
fangs.
I like this man. I like this man very much.
Grin
And,
and say, alright. What's the plan? Name's Squeak. I'm a, well, sellsword, whatever you want to call me. I'm here to kill things.
Tiff walks up to you with her hand outstretched, is like, "Hi, I'm Tiff Libre. I usually keep this bunch in line."
Oh, by the way,
she's
Tiff,
Yeah.
Renage is giving you the stink eye.
What do I know about Renage? Like,
Oh,
what do I
like-
notice?
You give him a once over, and first you're like, have I seen him somewhere? Probably. And you're like, oh yeah, he was that, like, third world child adopted by those really famous musicians so that he wouldn't have to be a pet.
So I recognize, well, Yuan-Ts wouldn't be pets, at least not the purebloods. But no, yeah, like, they'd still be, like, a super, like, poor, like, you know, like, we wouldn't look at them like people, you know? Yeah. So I recognize immediately that he's both from my timeline and also a celebrity. And is
Celebrity by the fact that his parents made a big deal about, oh, look at us, we're taking one of the lesser peoples as a child.
Can I make a culture roll to see if I would even know that, like, that's who he is? Like,
Yeah, you can
I
do that.
probably would recognize, like, the fashion of my homeworld and that sort of thing.
And he's definitely wearing the fashion, like, you can tell because of an armband he has of a group who were called the Priors.
Yeah.
And they were like the Explorers League.
I fucking know exactly. I reach out my hand, I shake your hand, and I... Oh! Hey, you're that Renage guy, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
Pleasure to meet you. My name's Tiff Libre. And, like, she holds out her hand.
He gives you a handshake, but it's kind of a begrudging one.
I'm like, okay, buddy, whatever. I mean, the whole social structure of our world's destroyed anyway. So, I mean, I'm just trying to be friendly. Like, I just pick up on it immediately. Like...
Yeah, he holds out his hands like, fine, my bad.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm Tiff Libre. Back there. You guys want to introduce yourself, or do you want me to introduce you?
Well, Renage knows who I am. And, like, this elf, this young elf with, like, very pale, like, dirty, ashy blonde hair, wearing he's also wearing half-plate armor, obviously of a different fashion than yours, and carrying a shield on his back and an elven long sword on in a scabbard on his side. He walks up and offers you a hand. He's like, my name's Celadol.
That was to you, Cyrus.
He's looking for some gnome insults.
Oh, and by the way, the handshake you get, Tiff. No, you have to make sure you have to fight to make sure your fingers don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's a sorry lot, I guess, but it'll do. Where are we?
I holler back. I'm like, hey, Pitiful, introduce yourself.
Fuck.
I think you just did.
He
Does Pitiful
doesn't
introduce
talk
himself?
much.
Jesta?
Sorry, Pitiful is actually playing the Namazu song for the adventure
Oh, god damn it.
because it's a new song he's learned. So
Yeah. No, I get you.
he knows 2 songs now. Well, that we
Yeah.
know of anyway. He might know a third one that he just hasn't broke out.
Yeah.
But he's entertaining people with a song.
Hell yeah.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I came around. I needed a good laugh.
Yeah.
Tiff's like, you can laugh at us, but we killed a god and then a thing made out of it. So.
She claps you on the shoulder. I'm sure you did.
No, we actually did. It was called like the Ultima weapon or something.
Tiff holds out a shard of the crystal heart. The heart of Titan. Is like, you just feel the magical energy piercing through that thing. It was pretty fucking crazy. And then they took that thing and they put in an even bigger thing. It's like a thing made out of like the worlds and stuff. And then we had to fight it. We got way up in its face and killed a bunch of horses.
And it killed
And
us.
and it made that the people who did that. No.
Wait. It killed you? I don't follow.
Oh yeah, we went to the other side.
We got better though.
Yeah, the crystal mother brought us back.
We walked it off.
Yeah.
I
Soul
died, but I got
tablet.
better.
If you die, walk it off.
Yeah. I'm like, even Sakura, hey, vouch for us. You're new, right?
You know, talking to
what they
killing
said.
gods is all. It's whatever. But I know people who are more evil than that. My grand and
He's like,
not that I remember her.
I don't think they were evil for killing gods. They picked the fight with us.
Yeah, didn't
No,
you say
it's
he
calling
was
the
like
god evil.
Oh, okay.
he was like a big angry rock being worshipped by kobolds?
Yeah.
Deserve to die though.
Hey, speaking of that, where's Key?
I don't know. She's probably off in the forest or something. I'm sure she's fine though.
Alright.
But weren't we
Always
supposed to
full.
go look at the hospital or something?
Wait, who's saying this?
Celadol.
Oh, okay. Like,
Oh, the pretty boy.
we need to go see the hospital?
Like it's done or something?
Oh. Like,
Didn't
Tiff just looks like she just does not care, and she's like, cool.
I mean, me and Susano probably should stay there for a little bit. I mean, Susano, you've got like kind of a hole in your gut still a little bit, and
He
my
just lifts
arm's
up
still
his shirt.
busted.
There's just this big old scar in the middle of his like gut, and he's just like, I mean, it's pretty much healed. I can walk now. This thing is huge.
Tiff looks at you and is like, Susano, oh my god, no, that looks really bad. I mean, we've only been back. Susano, go to the hospital. Don't be proud about it. Don't be stubborn.
Well, it's healed, so it's scarred over.
Yeah,
It's-
but this is also me as the
It's a
DM
nice
saying
scar.
going to the hospital for a little bit will heal you of any serious injury. By which I mean, when you go down, you take a serious injury.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Tiff
Yours being the
also
whole,
went-
I can't move very fast because my guts are on, ouch.
Yeah.
I
can
heal that.
So
Can you heal a serious injury?
It would take some, like, ritual cleric-y magic to do.
Hmm.
Most magic heals the physical, the immediate danger of it, not the lasting impact.
That's why we have scars.
I mean, eventually I'll have. Oh, I guess I won't have it. It's like I'm not a druid. I was gonna say regeneration, but nope. I'm a ranger.
Now you're a ranger, a
So, what
wannabe
do
druid.
you guys do around here? I mean, I just kind of showed up. I've only been here about a week or so, but I haven't seen you, I don't think.
That's
Maybe.
because we were in a different world, you know. We got these cool little bangles, and he holds up his arm, and he's got this golden bracelet with various sapphires set into it. He's like, it lets us open a cloud storage spell. We use it to go to these fountains that let us walk into them, and then we like pop out in different places.
We're
And
name takers and ass kickers.
uh,
Okay, now could you explain that in common?
Oh, I thought I did say it in common. We take names and we kick ass.
we
We
go
go to
out.
places, we find things that need to get killed and people who need saved, and then we become superheroes.
She kind of looks at you guys and is like, what is wrong with these people? She's like, okay, so I know I just woke up a week ago, but I'm a little confused. You're just gonna have to.
We're adventurers.
Okay, let me put it to you this way. Worlds everywhere are dying because of a bunch of assholes in big black armor, right? And some other assholes in like these weird masks. We go to places that these assholes have been to or are currently at, we fight them, and we save as many people from the planet before they, or as many people from that realm before they end up, you know, dying on the planet. We basically are, we're gophers. We go and get people and resources.
We're
Look,
adventurers.
it's not that I don't believe you. It's just seeing is believing.
All right, we'll take you on the next adventure then. You good with that axe?
I think.
I'm
Oh,
like,
and she's
don't
still
worry.
alive, isn't she?
I'm like, don't worry. Even if you're bad with the axe, I'll make sure you're good with it. Sort of thing.
Well,
Tiff is definitely still a little bit drunk, but she seems to. Right.
what's that you were cutting out?
Oh, Tiff seems a little drunk still, but she seems to also mean what.
She also seems to
What
mean
she
what she says.
What she's saying, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, am I still breaking up?
It's more. Are you push to talk?
No, I'm not.
Hmm.
I've just got my microphone hooked up.
It's like just the very ends of sentences sometimes.
Huh. Well, now that I'm looking at Discord, it's behaving. So.
Yeah, I don't know what it would be. Anyway, you've got one other person who's sneaking around listening in that you could introduce yourselves to, or we could go on and look at your construction projects.
Well, I'm just thinking here. I have a little thing called Danger Sense. I'm just gonna kind of take a look around and
You don't
to
have
see if I
to.
can find somebody.
Susano just kind of like points to a shadow where Fox is sitting because he didn't roll stealth earlier, and I have a 17 passive perception.
Well, all right then. Who's that?
Look, that's Fox. She's really good at not getting hit and at hitting things back, and she's a lot stronger than she looks.
She's also a turtle.
Right? Yeah, that too. Not the most surprising thing I've seen, though.
Yeah, she's not really a people person. We try, but she just does what she does.
She picked me up and pulled me out of danger.
Well, that makes sense. Turtle people. Great. I don't think I had those where I'm from.
Back
I
where I'm
think.
from, we had to mess.
And then Tiff says,
Tiff's too drunk.
Oh yeah, I'm like, well, back where I'm from, we used to keep them as pets. They're cute.
they also kept most Yuan-Ti as pets.
Oof.
Tiff like holds her tongue for a second. She like looks over and she clearly is embarrassed and is like,
Getting caught out.
Right. Yeah.
My bad.
Moving along.
Big oops.
I'm gonna lean over to and whisper, "This is the first time that me not knowing things has come in handy."
You have no idea.
So I just look at people and say, "All right, whenever and wherever we're going, I'm here."
Right, I do believe that bothersome little gnome wants to talk to you all too.
Fuck him.
Agreed. But it's something that apparently you've all been. He trusts you all and wants your input on the next decisions for what they're going to build. So
We're
shall
gonna
we?
do whatever we want.
So shall we? Or are we going to keep sitting in the background and making jibe comments?
Fuck you.
I personally would prefer to talk to Barnabas. I haven't talked in a minute.
Right, let us go.
By the way, have people been looking at me?
You get the
I
odd look of like, the fuck was that all about? But people are just like, drunks.
Okay.
Like, you'd be surprised how understanding people are.
Well, and think about it. Think about it this way too. Everyone here has dealt with the same kind of trauma of having like their entire worlds ripped away from them. You just have the extra trauma of you've been going to other worlds that are getting ripped
You've
away.
also had your friends ripped away from you. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
You've had additional trauma because you're out there, but they've all had enough trauma that like I'm sure this is not the first outburst
Yeah. They're
that
probably like,
anybody's had.
yeah, they're probably like very like, oof, that was ugly, but like we've all been there. No, I get it.
I probably haven't made the connection that was Tiff that was, shouting about things.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see.
all right, I guess we'll go meet Mr. Mean.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
Alright. Move
Pitiful
you
will follow
over.
mostly.
I think this is the right map. Yay!
Woo!
Let me boop all of you out on the Scooby Boo. Boop. Yeah, get everybody's character token out here. Boop.
Now, are you wanting us to do it, or are you
Yeah,
doing
you can do it too.
it? Okay. You said you were gonna do it. That's why I was like.
Is it? Is are we about to have a fight here or something?
No, but because you're out on the map.
Okay, I just didn't know if we were about to like have a fight somewhere. I'm like,
And then you're all under attack. It's
Yeah.
Monday
Shit.
Madness.
Peace.
And as you guys are walking down the path, you pass the guard tower,
Yeah.
and you see Beauregard Dragon Punch outside of
Mhm.
his forge. He picks up his anvil and just throws it and goes, and 50. And then looks and he's like,
Damn it, I love Beauregard.
and then looks over at you guys. Oh, and Beauregard is the definition of the size of this lad. Like, he's a dwarf, but
In
his
awe.
arms are like thicker than most people's heads almost.
Hell yeah.
And he sees you and he's like, ah, just the people I was looking for. Come here, come here, come here.
What an absolute unit.
And just like starts toddling over towards you. He's like,
Tiff
come here, come here, come here, come here,
walks
come here, come
up.
here.
Tiff walks up with open arms. Is like, Beauregard.
He grabs you and gives you the most gut-crushing of bear hugs.
I very, very difficultly try to hold my liquor back.
He puts you down and like strokes his beard, like, come with me. Got the fires rolling.
I follow.
Yep.
And he looks to all of you. He's got that like crazed look someone gets when they got a mad plan. He's like, all right, give me your weapons. At least
Tiff,
the steel ones. You prissy boy back there with the bow, not so much.
Tiff, looks at her inventory. It's like, I don't got a weapon.
Would the moonlight sabers be something he would need?
Are they? Are they?
Short-
Are they already
doesn't have a weapon-
masterworked?
No,
I
they were
guess
just
mine-
moonlit short swords.
Okay.
Wait,
If they're
Tiff,
not
you don't have that
masterworked,
weapon?
then he'll want them.
I don't have a weapon at all.
Yeah,
Or,
At hearing that, Beauregard just looks at you and is like, hmm.
I use my hands and like just sparkles come out of her fingers.
Squeak is gonna offer you a hand axe. She's like, "Oh, it's better than nothing. I can't have you dying on."
James, would he give me time to go get my big fuck off mace?
The one that you got from the Skeleton King,
Yes.
that was a magic weapon, so it's already a masterwork.
Fuck. Oh, okay.
That was
Um,
basically in their world, that was a legendary item.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I could give him my weapon, I guess. Please don't.
Also, how are you carrying like 9 weapons?
What do you mean? I have 2.
Oh, well, your inventory needs to be updated then.
Probably does.
Because I was like, where
you
are
gotta
all
remember-
of those?
You gotta remember, my Warhammer and Trident are on the same thing. Short sword could go on my side, and a longbow on my back.
Yeah, but I'm not keeping track of encumbrance, but you know, just rule of as long as it's not absolutely silly.
let's see here.
So give him my
Tiff.
my regular fuck off map.
Yeah.
You get an axe, a hand axe from
Yeah,
me.
can you use a hand axe?
She can use
I do
daggers.
not have proficiency
Yeah.
in like any weapons.
Oh, I
Uh,
thought
no,
you
I
got
do
simple
have
weapons.
proficiency
You can use a
in
short
simple.
sword.
I think a
no,
hand
I can
axe
use
is a
a
simple
light
weapon.
crossbow though.
I want to say a light axe is just a simple weapon.
Yeah, it would be.
Short sword.
I'd look at it and I'd be like, I appreciate that, but
Probably a-
Before
do
you
not-
can make your decision, he's like, "Gimme!"
okay, he hands him the axe. She
No,
hands
like
him the axe.
you had it in your hands and we're like, "Oh, what do I do?" And then just he picked it out of your hand,
All right.
and
Sweet,
he's just
thanks for the
making a
hand axe.
pile of weapons.
I'll
Alright.
give him
Yeah.
a great. I'll give him my great axe at least.
Yeah, and, like,
Pitiful.
Celadol
Pitiful has a,
hands out his elven sword, and Renage hands out a parry dagger and a sword.
I have a hand axe as well. I don't use it very often, but I have one.
Could I also slide him a big,
Pitiful would
like,
give it that.
50-pound chunk of the metal I was saving? I still have some.
Yeah, he looks at that like you have this giant chunk of metal. And he looks at it and he's like, where'd you get this?" Actually, I don't care. Come here.
Here,
And he just
here-
picks it up in one hand. Is like,
Wait, who is he talking?
just
He was talking to
Fox, who pulled out just a
Fox.
big
Oh.
chunk of metal.
yeah.
It's like, all right, now to explain. I'm going to take your weapons. I'm going to take this basic bitch metal, and I'm going to make it good. So come back in a couple of
my hammer.
basic bitch metals.
I'm a better smith than him.
I'm going
Screaming
to
basic
ma-
bitch metals is just the best line so far.
I'm going to make them masterworks,
Genuinely insulted.
and then
Ah.
I'm going to give them back to you. And then you're going to use them to kill things, and all those things are going to know the masterworks of Beauregard Dragon Punch.
Tiff's like excited even though she's never gonna use. Whoa, that is so cool.
So, come back in a couple of days, and I'll give you your weapons. Until then, and he just like tosses out a bunch of daggers and swords, and it's like, just use these. I don't know.
Can I help you?
No. This be me.
Oh,
This be my craft, son. And no one be taking a dwarf's craft.
I pull out my smith's tools.
No, this be my craft. I've been doing it alone so that I can venerate my ancestors and prove that I'm a master of all of the forge crafts.
Yeah, I know.
Now
that's
get
what
out!
I want to learn from you.
I would leave this man to his own devices. He hurls anvils for fun.
He does that too.
Susanna looks out to the
I
field.
also
book behind
punched a
us.
dragon once.
And there's just an anvil in the grass.
Yeah.
How many anvils are out there, by the way?
Like 7.
I'm taking one. I'm just fucking taking one.
Gonna
They're
take
they're
it from the
it's going to take time because those things are stuck in the ground.
That's fine. I can deal with that later. I'll just say I did it at, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. But
What's
yeah,
his reaction to my boomerang?
he looks at it and he's like, "Wait, is it made of wood?"
Wood and metal.
He's like, I can't do much with the wood, but I can take this weird little napkin thing and make it into something right proper."
Eagles.
Wait, can he do stuff with bows?
Eh,
He's a blacksmith, not a bowyer.
yeah, this is different because it's probably the edges of the boomerang that are made of metal, and it's probably what
That's
does the
fair.
damage.
I guess I'll just give him my short sword and dagger too, then, I guess.
Yeah, and he's just got this pile of weapons,
Oh, I have.
and just like
That's
claps his hand, does the greedy little hand rub, and then it's like, "Now get out!"
Enjoy the free metal.
I'll be enjoying it.
I didn't give him any. Almost.
Slam.
Why do I have the feeling that Beauregard's about to masturbate over the machine's metal?
He probably
See,
is.
as someone who
Oh,
played
you know that's how he gets his flux.
Oh, this is what they call wet welding.
someone who played the hell out of Dwarf Fortress, I'm just gonna have a mental break and either come out with masterwork gear or kill everyone in the village. I don't know. Either one can happen.
Do we
Depends
need
on.
to give him a ceremony of kerns?
Yes, give
Can
him
we just
all
give
your
him a-
kerns. Lock him in a room when he turns into a vampire.
Let him
Nothing else
scratch
to
against
do.
the walls until he goes
Here's
mad.
what's his-
Oh yeah, Barnabas is up at the hospital.
Alright, I'll just walk up the walls to the top.
Alright, I'm gonna walk over to Barnabas myself.
I will walk up the walls too, because I can now do that.
Yeah, just
I will somewhat reluctantly walk over to Barnabas.
yeah. Barnabas
He
is
may
like
be a gnome, but he is not of my.
Barnabas is like talking to the last few construction workers who are like putting on the finishing touches and it's like, don't get. Why do I? Ah,
Tink,
they're
tink.
not stupid people.
Watch.
Tiff's like, are you sure about that one?
Well, I mean because you're not walking on the fucking walls.
I'm just flipping him off as I continue walking up.
Pitiful is
Seriously,
still staggering
What?
on the side of the wall.
It's this thing.
it's a hospital. It's where we take.
No, you.
I'm a gnome. What? You've never seen a gnome before? As he like runs a hand through his pink hair. Yeah, he's not a elf. He's not a goblin.
He's a gnome!
And
Um.
you've been gnomed.
But yeah, I like look at him like he's the resident
Architect,
civic comptroller.
engineer,
I
civic
look him up.
comptroller, general badass.
I'm gonna look him up and down.
I'm waiting to see you do something cool.
All right,
Shut
I'm gonna look
up.
up Mr. Barnabas up and down and say, I haven't noticed those are nice shoes, but don't you think your grand's feet are cold?
Whatever. I don't need to worry about the opinions of plebeians. Except in the case of what are we going to build now?
That's because you're tiny too.
Because I would make suggestions, but every time I make suggestions, everyone's like, Barnabas can't do that. I'm going to summon a demon because I'm a warlock.
Yeah, that guy's a badass.
So, as you can see, our woodcutters have cut down some stuff. This opens up not enough for like a big building, but we could put a
I got
little thing there.
I got a question. What was it that Barnaby said when he decided to back out of the war that we just had?
Yeah, I was curious about that too.
Barnabas,
Yeah.
he said, yeah, go have fun. You'd go die, I'll keep working.
Yeah, I repeat that directly back when he starts going on about being General Badass. Yeah, you go die and have fun. I'm gonna keep working.
I will
Well,
thaumaturgy that.
someone has to.
I will fucking thaumaturgy that.
God.
I look and
Anyway,
I'm like, how many workers do we have now, Barnabas?
let's see.
A
We got
lot.
the 5 that we had. We got another one. So that makes six units of workers.
Didn't
Are
we bring
the
several thousand
Namazu
people?
going to help?
The fish? You want the
Yeah.
fish to do construction work?
They
Are
build
you
houses they can
high?
pick up.
Maybe a little bit, but I mean, Jesus, man! Like, if they're gonna stay here, they can help with construct. There's so many of them.
Yeah, they want you to look at this plan. And it's just like he hands you a piece of like
Did
a
we bring
bamboo
several
parchment.
thousand people?
And yeah, but not all of them are construction workers.
They're my clubhouse now.
But
Um,
they it's a it's a very poorly drawn, almost cartoony little thing of like a merchant port that's got a Namazu head on top of it, and it's got like little things coming off it, and then writing like, "Make the gold here, hide stuff here," and then like
I
someone
look at
just
it.
made just a bunch of doodles in the corner.
I look at it, and I'm like, Barnabas, I don't see anything wrong with this blueprint.
No, I mean, do we do that, or do we do other stuff with this new little small thing we have?
Well, we should have enough to do both, right?
We have enough workers where we can use one of them to keep cutting down these stupid trees. We
Just
can.
light them all on fire.
No, because then we're gonna get the druids mad. Oh, everything's gotta be done sustainably.
Okay, so what are our options again for these medium plots?
We got that dumb king who's not really a king because everyone he knows is dead, who wanted to make a market so that we could trade with some other cities. Apparently there are other cities on this continent. I don't know why.
Why have we not already gone on a mission to meet them? Why am I talking to you right now, Barnabas? Please, don't give me sass.
Then we've also got Raddist wants us to build like a big guardhouse, like a big guardhouse.
Okay.
Do we actually have people to man a guardhouse that size?
Yeah, there's a
Yes.
militia in town, so
Yeah, they
We
mostly
also-
live in their own
didn't we
home.
Didn't we make a fighter thing?
yeah, the
Yeah,
Fighters
we made-
Guild improved them all from like basic bitch militia to essentially men at arms.
Yeah.
So, what are we what are we also looking at that we have at our disposal? I mean, we were talking about there was a play we could build what like a tower for the wizards, or did we already do that?
So that's gonna
That's
be
over
in
in
the
the
other
Avenue
hall.
of Champions.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that one's almost a little bit not like we can get to that directly after this because those only
Right,
provide
okay.
some benefits. Plus, if you look in your notes, if you're wanting the details on the hall's effects, you should see the
Yeah,
construction
those are
notes
essentially
at the bottom.
free.
Yeah, at the
Construction nodes.
yeah at the very bottom it should say the order hall passive.
No, yeah, there is something that
Okay.
has that.
Yeah, and those are going to be for once we
forgot.
deal with that.
I forgot that was there. I'll
Oh,
back
you're
off
good.
for I'm gonna be quiet and read this for a minute.
Okay, sure. Well, what can we put in the small slot?
Well, the Namazu want to put their little marketplace there.
Okay.
We could also try to get Scrump to make an alchemy stand there.
Next option.
See, that's where I kind of need you guys to actually go out and get some suggestions from the other big players and shakers and movers, because every time I try to talk, they're like, Barnabas, get out of my house, I'm busy.
Well, maybe you should try and
I
talk
wonder
to them.
why.
Maybe you should try and talk to them in Refuge Hall.
That's the thing. Whenever I go there, it's just a clusterfuck of angry people shouting at each other.
That is why you have to learn subtlety.
Is
And-
that what it's like being insignificant?
Well-
Ooh.
I'm going to ignore
Barnabas?
that and hope that you die on your next mission.
Barnabas, do you happen to have any spells that you can cast?
I would have walked out and high-fived the fucking dwarf.
Mending,
Thank you.
prestidigitation. I mean, I'm not a magic user, but I'm a magic initiate.
Do you know how to do what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, do you know how to do thaumaturgy?
Is that what you did like an hour or two ago?
I did what? I
Yeah,
like
you were
started
like,
looking at the party and I was like, did
yeah, Seldol is
Oh,
kind
come on,
of
I'm
like
an
looking,
amnesiac, and even I heard you.
looking either way, like, don't look at me.
I look at Celadol, who's very clear. Celadol, what did I do?
You went to the balcony of the refuge hall and we're talking about how this is home and we're all doing good jobs, and then you started crying about Jamesh and Gitsuyu and Elthana.
Oh! And like Tiff just like turns bright red. Like, I did I?
Yep.
Okay. Let's put down the fighters hall. And let's go and work on the other construction project.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here. Oh, speaking of the what's her name? The one covered in leaves. She's in here. She's fine.
Oh, fucking
Elthana.
Alfana.
She's just,
Okay.
taking a big long nap. Being
She
productive.
doesn't have a soul, Barnabas.
I mean, did
Can
she
I-
before?
Can I
I
slap
shoot
him?
him legitimate daggers. Like,
Can I
I'm like
legitimately slap him?
legitimately just like, you son of a bitch.
He
I'm
holds
like,
those hands like,
Barnabas.
Jesus, everyone's so sensitive.
Oh, that's fine, Barnabas. Have you lost anybody? Like,
yeah, just
I don't
everybody
know,
I
week?
knew.
No, in the recent week, because we've all lost everybody we knew, you little fuck. How about you shut your goddamn mouth and work on the fucking buildings like we tell you?
All
I
right.
only tolerate you because you're a novelty. So how about you fuck off? And Tiff is just gonna like start walking towards the hero's thing.
Ouch.
I'm gonna grab Barnabas around the shoulder, clap him on the shoulder, and say, "You know, you're funny, but looks aren't everything."
Oh, that's one of my favorite lines to use.
You'll all
Snake
be
and Zazana
sorry
just
one
share
day.
a look and follow Tiff.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm
Yeah,
gonna follow.
Celadol is just like, and Renage just kind of look at her like, Jesus.
Well, here's the thing: the only person
You cut
who
out.
like
Cut out.
the only person grounding Tiff within the party that she was like, equal and someone who knows exactly what's going as much as I do. Like Elfana. And like, she doesn't look at this through any lens other than straightforward. She's in the fucking hospital with no soul. Like, what else is she gonna react with?
Get it back.
We got better.
Yeah, she just wakes up.
Right.
She's like, oh. Holy shit, fucking angels.
Alright. So, like...
Yeah,
What's
everybody
our plan?
everybody is moving to the Avenue of Champions.
Yay!
And you don't
Got the
have to put
fighters
yourself
hall.
out here, but yeah.
Yeah.
You got the fighters hall up here.
I like the snow. I really like Siren.
So yeah, if you look at your construction notes, this is the big ask for all the players, because I'm going to have no input.
Wait, where?
What's
where is it?
next?
Like,
It's
what?
construction notes. It's in your sheets.
This is the class halls.
Yes,
Is
the
that right?
down at the bottom where it says order hall passives, those are the ones you haven't built yet.
Mhm.
Oh,
So.
do we really need to train our NPCs?
If you
Yes.
want them to
Please
keep
no.
up with you in level.
We have 5 level 20 adventurers.
5 level
Yay.
20 adventurers who?
As in the guild hall leaders, but like we can't just crack them out for everything.
Yeah,
think about it,
no.
Right.
If we get barred and our crafters can train,
Little birdie.
that means our blacksmith can become like a fucking god. I'd be like, give me a weapons +5. At like, level 20, but
Hmm.
I feel like cleric might be the most handy if I'm being honest.
That or paladin. That would give us more build range.
That's true.
Well,
But I'm going to be honest. If somebody dies, that could actually fuck us really hard.
They
Mm,
won't die. They'll just be out of it for a week if they're injured.
Slow us down quite a bit.
mm,
It's kind of like in Civilization.
I like.
well, the Wizards of the Arcane, the Wizards College gives us the ability to requisition, some low quality magic items every week.
I feel like that's come in handy. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, let's
We have to return
and-
the item to get another one.
Well,
Mhm.
and yeah, and the other thing, and like I was also looking at Rogue also, which now that we know that there's at least one other city on the place, plus the Namazu like civilization.
It says a
that could-
civilized place of any realm. When you
Of
go
any
out
realm.
into the
I think you
when you go out into
Oh,
the
that's
field,
like
if you find a civilized place,
dude, that's interdimensional fucking spies for us. That's
Yeah,
goddamn.
or
Wait a minute, that
or
would make my background actually useful.
hold on, or we who watch the stars, you
Thank
can
you.
ask the DM one question about their goal, and he has to answer truthfully.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna call out.
That's a really powerful ability. Like for instance, if like we're having trouble with like figuring out where the enemy is, we can literally just look up to the stars and go, "Where are the Klipoth hiding right now in this realm?" Or how many Black Knights are there out here? Or what is the true nature of this situation? And he
Oh,
has to answer it.
Is that one time?
one time per realm.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, fuck, get that.
Right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right.
What do you think, Jesta?
That's a
Another round
pretty
for the
powerful.
bloody.
That's a pretty powerful ability. But you guys are right about like the spare of the week, the not getting our construction workers injured. It all boils down to, do we want something that gives us an ability we can use in the field, or something that's helpful in the like in town stuff with our NPCs and with our construction? In other words, do we want stuff that's going to speed our construction of other things, or help our defensive measures, or do we want stuff that's going to give us information or powerful abilities in the field?
Frankly, I'm game for anything, so why don't we just roll for it?
Maybe, yeah.
Only 3.
You see, like all of the heroes just rolling dice. Yeah. Oh, which one will it
in all
be?
honest, I'm pretty sure the 3 that we're pretty much banking on is Spare the Week, Little Birdie, and Arcane Catalog, right?
Yeah. So
Or we who watch
well,
the
or
stars.
We Who
Or
Watch
what
the
about
Stars.
prodigies?
hmm,
Eh,
Gain a
prodigies
once
could be really good.
per day use of any first level spell or cantrip from the
All of us-
sorcerer list.
I think all of us except one person know spells, don't we?
But not sorcerer spells.
I don't know spells.
Yeah, sword
I have,
spells are pretty important too. Like you can do a lot just with prestidigitation.
Everyone can have mage armor.
Yeah, level 1 spell. That's right.
Or
There's a
Like
lot
I
that
said,
you
why
guys
don't we
could
just
do.
roll for this?
I think that we could talk some of this out though. Hold on.
I'm game for literally all of them, and I'm pretty sure y'all
Brian,
are.
Mhm.
what's your opinion?
That's a good point.
Do do
Right.
do.
This
do.
early in the game, something to get the like our buildings up quicker.
or
Respect
warlock.
That's more. That's what I'd be more leaning towards because we don't have a lot of infrastructure.
That's true.
Is the warlock, we can instantly complete construction projects other than large, and clerics.
How
very
often
rarely
can we
makes it
use?
less-
how often can we use We Have a Pact?
Once,
pretty
but then
sure we get-
I do have to actually think of a passive afterwards, so that's not just a one thing and then it's useless.
So
That
we'd have
could
to
let us-
save that.
That could let us do some good work in clearing out the field for that third medium. So, like, say we just build the guardhouse right now, boom, we don't have to wait a week for that construction, and we can just say, okay, clear out that third area, and then they clear out the third
Sure.
area, you know?
I mean, we could do that, but it's up to you, man.
Hmm.
Like I said, if we're really stuck on a couple of them, rolling would probably be better.
Cyrus, what are your thoughts?
Well, I am just kind of along for the ride at this point. Squeak specifically is not entirely sure what she can even trust with her own eyes at this point. She could just be, dreaming and just forgot, not really know who you guys are,
Right.
or if any of this actually exists. She's,
Oh, that's my mindset.
doesn't exactly know what she believes right now. So from that standpoint, she doesn't have an opinion, partially because she doesn't know like what you guys are really talking about at all. She's also wasn't raised in a magical background. She doesn't really understand any of the magic stuff. She's got her one cantrip, but that's about it.
You're a pet.
Hmm.
So no
So,
opinion.
It sounds to me like you guys want either Spare the Weak, We Who Watch the Stars, Little Birdie, or potentially We Have a Pact.
I think we're taking We Who Have the Stars and Little Birdie off the list for right now because we want to focus on infrastructure.
All right.
So it's
Yeah.
between Spare the Weak and We Have a Pact.
Monks have workers recover from exhaustion in one move. So
That
means
is
we
true.
should more
True.
often use those workers.
True, but once we've already spent the workers, we can't really.
Well,
Yeah,
the
I mean-
workers are static. Like, as long as they don't die, like, we still have the workers. It just means they don't have a cooldown period to build again.
What's the okay? Would I be able to roll anything to know if how dangerous it is for these idiots to be
Depends on the size of the structure.
large?
There's a 30% chance someone will get hurt.
Then, not gonna lie, that could it end up killing?
It can't kill them, but if they're injured, that worker unit is taken off the table until the next turn.
Which will slow down can slow down building times.
But if
Yeah,
we have
so-
the cleric, that prevents that.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be, hold on.
It doesn't prevent.
Would that be they're taken off the board for one turn and then they still recover exhaustion as normal?
Yeah, exhaustion
Okay.
basically means they can do, like, every time they do a construction, I roll something on each of the units and see if they get exhausted. None of them got exhausted this time.
This time.
So cleric could actually be helpful because I'm guessing it helps mitigate the exhaustion.
Yeah, it
No,
lowers
that's
the.
going to be monk.
Yeah, monk
Monk
is about exhaustion.
and
Yeah.
cleric is about preventing injuries.
Mhm.
And then warlock is just instantly put one building up.
Yeah,
So,
warlock
like,
is
an
having a.
eldritch horror literally strikes the ground and rises something.
Nah, it's
Now-
just she summons a bunch of demons that instantly build it with their infernal power.
Now, here's my thought about the warlock one, right? It's only going to be useful for so long.
Right.
We probably should use it sooner rather than later. It's like scaling bonuses to FP. Like, early game, a plus 2% is going to do you a lot better than late game. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, like, I think it might be a good idea to have a pact. Plus, he said that there's going to be a benefit afterwards as well, so we knock two birds out with one stone.
Yeah, we
Question:
can-
What can we build in the medium again?
Right now,
well,
the
we're
only
building
things-
a guard post.
The only things you know is a guardhouse or a market, but they're
Yeah.
over
I mean,
time
a
you're going to
free
get other
market,
options.
Free market.
We could do we could pop. Well, we only have one base available right now for medium, so we could just like say, okay, we want to build the guardhouse and then send all of our workers to clear the woods on the next medium slot, so that we can just build something there next time instead of having to wait for like 1 or 2 workers to chew through the woods.
Oh, so I'm guessing if we send every single worker, the woods
Probably
would
would
be
get
gone
done
in a
pretty
turn.
quick. Yeah. Would that be a fair assumption, James?
That's a pretty good assumption.
I mean,
Okay.
think about it. 2 takes what, 3-4 days? I'm assuming you double and then triple that time.
Yeah.
Each
So, yeah, I mean-
building takes a week, except for a large. Well, and that's like basically however long you're gone. It's
Mhm.
always been a week because
We
time
should set
flows
some stuff
differently.
up, because from what I'm understanding, depending on how long we're in there, shit could be happening and we don't even know.
No matter
I
how
don't-
long you've been gone, it's always been a week when you come back.
Yeah.
Magic.
Because time moves very, very differently here relative to the rest of the universe.
And even looking past that, it just makes a steady game mechanic, so we don't have to worry about, well, we were this and this and this. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
It
We
was a
don't have to
turn.
return randomly
So-
during missions to do
Yeah.
it.
Alright, so the consensus here.
So
I'm-
yeah, do we want to do? We have a pack,
I'd say let's pack.
Jesta.
Uh,
I
Packed
could
it
be
up.
swayed, Jesta.
I.
I do like the cleric though.
Trust me,
I
I
do
want to do
too.
the cleric, but
I'm gonna have to put my vote behind the cleric.
Okay.
see, I didn't think the cleric would get enough votes.
Just because it's also less exhaustion chance. It's not just injury, it's less
Okay.
chance and less exhaustion chance. So it means our workers can go longer and they'll be safer. OSHA,
Okay.
bitch. I'm
Brian?
off for OSHA.
Brian, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking the cleric.
Alright, cleric then.
Sure, cleric works.
We should probably do warlock next, though.
Yeah.
That because you
I
raise a
agree.
good point about the scaling and whatnot.
Mhm.
I just feel like early game probably best to make sure that we're probably going to be more susceptible to like a lot of this exhaustion and injury during the early game because we've got so much to build. Any
Yeah.
little setback could really put us pretty far behind.
Plus, having the guild halls bolster that class's presence in our town as well. Correct?
Yeah, that also means that like if the town was ever attacked, that class will now show up in the defenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, clerics would be fantastic having.
Fighters and
Yeah.
clerics.
Cleric is the best thing to have on the front lines.
Yeah.
So we have
let's do
clerics.
it.
Yeah, so we've already got the fighter hall. Now we've got clerics. So we've got some pretty
I love
basic stuff. We're now people attack our town. We've got the ability to stand and fight and the ability to keep fighting. So
Yeah.
and our
Okay.
workers are safer.
While they work
Yeah.
on that, y'all want to go to the next world?
We got a
Uh,
couple of us, me and Celadon all need to go to the hospital for a while.
yeah.
I mean, you're
you
only
guys
gonna
need
be
to
there for like 3 days, right?
For probably it'll take a turn. Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't have to have a turn be an entire session.
Right.
Yeah.
That's up to you guys. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna rush you along. But yeah. So yeah, who is it that goes and informs Erithus of the White of your decision?
I'll do it.
All right. Well, you go to Refuge Hall and you find Erithus, and he is a venerably aged half elf, wearing like cleric armor with some white robes underneath it, and he's got like the long old man beard going. Like you're surprised that he can walk as well as he can.
Oh, this man could probably beat the shit out of me. I'm not stupid. He's a cleric.
Yeah, but you come and he's like, "Is there something you wish to ask of me?"
Yeah, I'm gonna build the cleric hall.
Ah, excellent. I and the faithful shall begin building our hall immediately. We shall have a place at last where all the faithful of all creeds may worship in peace.
Yeah. As I'm just putting my symbol of Gond behind me.
Why would that be a bad thing? He said,
Because Gond only he hates conventional churches.
ah,
He likes places of crafting.
Yep.
yeah. Erithus just stands up and goes and speaks to some other acolytes, and they're going to get to work.
All right, gents, where you want to go?
Well, like they're like, hey, let's go work now. They don't like need help finding it.
No, at my party.
Ah,
I'm like,
Somewhere that will let me know if this place is real or.
can I at least sleep off this situation?
I feel like we could fast forward a week without any real repercussions.
Do you want to come to
Yeah.
the hospital with me?
I'm good, thanks though. Unless you want me there, I can.
Dolls?
There,
Could I
Or-
roll a medicine on him, by the way, to see how bad it is?
Yeah.
19.
yeah, like the healing magic took away any immediate risk to his life, but he is going to need more careful attention from either
Yes.
mundane healers or divine casters in order to properly fix him.
It's like physical
Yes.
therapy.
Gotta break his bones.
Now, in
I'm
this
not
case, it was a
joking.
gut wound. It wasn't any broken bones.
Oh, they didn't break his ribs? Oh, good.
Gotta
No,
do
it was
magical
all in
physical
his
therapy.
gut, not in his chest.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's all in the gut.
Alright, yeah, no, we could rest out, fast forward a week, and yeah.
Yeah, and Celadon needs to basically get his arm fixed because he got shot, and the bullet was like in the bone.
I took that out, didn't I?
Yeah, he pulled it out. Remember, you were like, "Let me do it." He's like, "Nope, I'm a big boy."
Fucked it up. I'm just kidding.
Well, even if it was someone else, that's kind of a hard thing to sit still for.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And someone else, oh, Sejuro needs to go there as well, but he's an NPC, so. Because he also got blowed up.
Mhm.
And how long did the cleric thing? How long is it gonna take?
It'll be next turn, so next week when it's complete.
Oh, so it'll take exactly a week. We can, dude. This is perfect. We can set up our next thing and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I need to get the cleric class image
Mhm.
real quick so I can put that on the map.
Yay.
This actually works out pretty well.
Yeah.
And then immediately we're gonna set up Warlock to get that. What are we gonna use it for, Mark? I mean, we can only build 2 things.
Yeah. Could we
market's a little more valuable?
Yeah, market. Well, we've already started construction on the guardhouse, so it'll be over.
Yeah,
right?
what else will be done?
Oh, you
Yeah.
did start construction on that?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we didn't want we still want projects going on in the background.
Yeah,
probably
I was
had,
just
like,
making
2
sure.
workers on that and like 4 on the cleric.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't need any workers for the class halls. Those are
Yeah.
done by the class themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. We would have had 6 on them then, right?
Yeah, and it'll take the 5 you have to build the,
Pardon.
and then you'll have the extra 1 to clear out some of the stuff.
Could we use the warlock ability to place it on top of the trees, or do we
No, it'll have to be cleared out.
What percentage of it is cleared out right now over there?
Let me look.
For the medium size.
None.
Then we'll send all 6 workers, and then we'll get the hell out of here.
Could we
If you
use
sent-
the warlock to clear the area instead?
If you use the warlock, they would basically clear out. Let me show you.
Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
If you use the warlocks, you see this part with the 4 orange and the 1 yellow? They'd clear
Mhm.
all of that away.
That sounds like a great idea to
Right.
me.
Hell yeah, just do that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not worth a building, but clearing out that much land, hell yeah.
Yeah, that would work perfectly. Let's do it.
And that gives us a shit ton of extra wood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got wood alright.
Oh, fuck,
Huh.
opposite.
Boo.
Wait, what are these specialty spots we could open?
You haven't seen it, you haven't gotten anything for specialty.
Sure. Then let's just do this. So we do have the.
No, you do have one, but you were basically like, haha, no. Which
What
was,
is it?
you want the possibility of making basically a, like, God, what's the word? Sorry, I'm kind of blanking. A embassy for the Blackguard.
Oh, haha, no. Yeah, we're not doing that. I want them to stay as far out of town as possible.
They did kick ass in that fight, though.
Yeah, but also their version of kicking ass is battle. I don't want them anywhere near.
Yeah,
That's
they are kind of intense.
Mm-hmm.
all right. So we'll set up the war. We'll start the warlock, and then what do you say? We either go to a new world or invest.
Yeah, let's get the warlock and have him clear that out, and
A whole new world.
a whole new world, I suppose.
Let's
A
go to
whole
a new world,
new
baby. We get to take our
world.
new beautiful friend Cyrus with us.
Yeah, and
I'm terrified, yet intrigued.
huh.
Oh,
Also,
yeah, I would show Cyrus my home.
Your
neat.
hoe?
Home.
Oh,
I mean, I probably have a hoe, but my farming's on the other side.
Hold on, I'm trying to find versions of these that are like see-through. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Blank
yeah.
background.
We also need the guardhouse to be built because that's already that should have been built by now. I think, right?
All right, I'll work on that right now since that's probably a lot easier to find.
Okay, I will be right back.
Oh, break here. Is that all right, Brian? I mean, not Brian. James.
What?
Does it take a short break here?
Yeah. Everybody take a short break, like 5 minutes.
Sounds good to me.
Can't make me.
Fuck
Oh,
you,
you don't
Sassy.
have
Go get
to.
medicine.
What are we gonna do to entertain everybody while?
Sing show tunes. Camped out
Oh,
Okay,
the whale of a tale, let me tell you, lads, a whale of a tale or two.
This was a bad idea.
What? You said show tune. It was a show at one point in time. You know, you can still find it on D.
I was actually drawing a blank on show tunes that I actually
That's why I
even
was
know, and
like,
I'm like, what? Like, I actually
Fair
kind of wanted to
lady, sing
start
this
singing.
song.
No. There you go. I got one for you. Let's see. What is it?
I don't know. You're the one
God,
that
no,
said
I
it.
lost it. No, I lost it now. Fuck. It was the theme song to Cheers.
Where the
Taking a
bird
break.
fly
Yeah,
knows
no,
your
it's
name.
taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Something. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll
Sounds
give
And
up.
I literally was like had it stuck in my head like 2 days ago at work. I'm like walking around work singing the theme song to Cheers. I'm like, how do I fucking have that memorized? I don't fucking know. I've only watched it like twice in the last 20 years, you know. And then I kind of sat there and I was walking around, and now I can't even think of it, and I can't even think of the words. I'm 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 bad.
It's bad.
No, it's making a way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Yeah, I remember now.
Where the fuck
See?
is
There you
nothing
go.
working?
Ah, no shit. I actually did run across that show on Netflix. What was it? Not that long ago, and I watched a couple of episodes because I was like, man, I remember this show. I used to love watching Cheers. It was a lot of fun. And I laughed my ass off for a couple of episodes, and I went to bed. And then the next night, I remembered Danger Mouse was a thing, and I found it on Netflix. And I watched it and laughed a bit.
Sorry, I had to grab a grab.
You had to grab a grab?
I had to grab a grab.
Cup and cup?
It cut out the exact same way the second time too.
There's an evil plan afoot.
Oh boy, I love evil plans. What evil plan?
Roll perception to find your evil plan.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at my list of dark humor here, and I don't see anything about evil.
Evil plan. I'm gonna guess that's an insight roll. I'm not very good at that.
I did an 18 on perception.
Oh
Um,
Legitimate evil plan?
The plan is that the play, like
Oh,
all
the
of you
plan.
guys, the party, you guys are
Mhm.
trying to start a Ponzi scheme.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
god.
I'm
Yeah,
confused.
yeah.
What did I miss?
That seems pretty evil.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
those only work in EVE Online.
EVE Online is a Ponzi scheme.
Wait, what did I just miss?
What did I miss?
Just a
Yeah,
joke.
Oh, okay.
EVE Online is a Ponzi scheme.
Well, yeah, we know that.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, are we going to a new world?
No, I thought we were going to start. What we're going to do it now because you got all your buildings built. I mean, look at it. Look at this guardhouse. It's beautiful. It's
That is a good
red.
guardhouse.
Susanna's
we were-
all patched up.
I thought we were doing a war. Oh wait, no.
Not yet. I mean, yeah, you're going to do it now, but
That's a party guardhouse. I know where you got that.
I know. I went to this thing called search here, and I typed in the thing. I typed Bilbins.
Bilbins. Hey, isn't that guy from Lore of the Onions? You know, Bilbin Babims.
Oh yeah, Saris. This is basically what was following you around.
As a turtle.
What?
No, I had my mask on the entire time.
Turtle.
What
would've
thing?
told him it was a turtle.
I don't.
Yeah, I think
What?
somebody actually
I already
specific-
mentioned that. Yeah.
in-game reference.
Yeah, Celadol's like, it's a turtle.
In character.
Oh, it's a turtle, but
Wait,
he doesn't see
wait.
my face.
So, the mask from Avatar: The Last Airbender was.
That was specially designed and drawn. No, that is not.
No, he was making le joke.
Oh, I know. I'm just
Twas
trying
joke.
to- Love you.
Anyway, you guys wake up, go about your business for a couple of days. What does everyone do to occupy the time?
Lay in the hospital. apparently.
Other than you.
Probably doing the thing that Pitiful normally does. Randomly wake up on people's rooftops and play the fool, amusing people around town. Occasionally he'll take a trip down to Namazu Town and do it there.
Nice.
Tiff has been
Drinking.
bouncing back and forth from Namazu Town and this town, doing low-level diplomat stuff and getting real drunk at night. But now she's being extra careful to make sure people, like, hey, if I look like I'm about to do some dumb shit, please stop me.
No, I'd rather watch.
She's not talking to you. She's talking to. She's talking to probably Susano, Sakura, and then Celadol, and maybe even the two new guys.
I
You're
imagine
not
you're-
talking about Squeak. Squeak
Alright.
would definitely be a bad influence and drink with
I
you.
imagine you tell Susano this while he's in the hospital, so he tries to get up, like, all right, and like two clerics rush in and push him back. down.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
Two
I'm
apothecaries are
sorry.
like, stop!
I would probably strap you to the fucking bed.
Yeah.
I don't
never
think
mind.
the
Then it's probably just going to be Celadol and Sakura. that I'm
yeah,
like,
Celadol's
hey,
like, well, I can't right now.
oh god damn it! It's just Sakura. You know, what? In fact, I approached Sakura. and
Would
I'm
you
just like,
would you even dare ask Renage?
yeah, I would ask Renage as well.
He'd be willing to.
Yeah, and you know what? I probably would just like, hey, if you see me drunk as fucking public, can you just go, hey, go home, Tiff?
Oh, in
Like-
public. Oh,
In
Yeah.
private, I'm fine with whatever I do because at least that destruction is contained to myself.
Squeak is definitely going to consider her debt to Renage paid. Like he asked her to do something, so she did, and now she's gonna go back to drinking.
Huh.
He never said she had to stop.
Exactly.
should I make a dagger out of the new material I have for the 26?
Isn't it
New
just metal?
material. So
From the drag.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
non-magical metal.
yeah, it's just
remember?
non-magical metal. You make a dagger.
It's not. I thought it was
Yeah, he
actually
said,
decent metal.
especially when you're picking up, he said that it would just turn back to regular metal. It was just empowered.
It's just a lot of it.
It's not good steel.
No.
I mean, it's decent steel.
Yeah, it's good material, but it's not going to make anything more than what Borgar or any other smith could make.
That's
What'd you think I was
Um,
going to be like? And now thou hast all the mithril in the universe.
2 tons of mithril.
I mean, I could get mithril. I would just need to keep digging.
That's not a guarantee of anything.
And
Yeah.
you'd
More
probably
likely
I
to
was making a Minecraft joke.
you'd dig through
Yeah,
the
you're gonna get
bottom,
lava first, but
you'd hit bedrock, and then you'd find a lava pit.
No.
And
you'd
lose
run
all your
into whatever
diamonds.
beastie
Oh, man,
took
creeper.
out Gandalf.
Oh, creeper in this universe. Fuck that.
That
Anyway,
actually would be a fun enemy. Anyway.
does anyone have
Alright.
scenes with any NPCs they want to do?
Spy on the blacksmith.
I mean, Beauregard is busy hammering away at his forge.
Shizano and Celadar are just chatting it up in the hospital beds next
Yeah,
to
I
each
want to see if he's done with my boomerang.
Oh yeah, like after a couple of days, he probably either finds you or you find him, and he gives everyone back their weapons. And everyone's
Nice.
weapon is
Yay.
now masterwork if it wasn't before.
Hell
What does that
yeah.
do?
Gives it a +1.
Okay.
Oh, that's. Oh my.
Okay, let's see here.
Me.
Super useful for Tiff.
Well,
I'm not gonna.
useful for
I'm not
me.
looking to. I'm not looking to gift horse them out though.
Mine was already a magical boomerang.
Just wanted to help.
There we go.
Remind me,
No,
Masterworks
James,
are just
you're
+1,
good.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
And then if you add magical, then it's another +1. But it's.
I've actually thought of a downtime activity. Like,
Uh-huh.
am I able to find someone who could procure me a magical item, like one that I could permanently keep? I'm wanting to find an uncommon, so lowest tier. I want to
Let's-
find an ever smoking bottle.
What is the cost?
Magical items are DM determined.
500 to 2,500 for uncommon, 5,000 to 25,000.
Let me
for
look this up
rare.
real quick. What's it called?
Ever smoking bottle. So I can read it to you. Smoke leaks from the lead stopper mouth of this brass bottle, which weighs 1 pound. When you use an action to remove the stopper, a cloud of thick smoke pours out in a 60-foot radius from the bottle. The cloud's area is heavily secured. Each minute the bottle remains open with cloud. The radius increases in 10 feet until it reaches 120. Cloud persists as long as the bottle is open. Closing requires you to speak its command word as an action. Once the bottle is closed, the cloud disappears after 10 minutes. A moderate wind, 11 to 20 miles per hour, can also disperse the smoke after 1 minute, and a strong wind, 21 miles per hour or more, can do so after 1 round.
It just makes a fog cloud.
Yeah, it just makes fog.
Alright, it'll cost you 170 gold.
I have plenty of gold, so I will take that.
I forgot that I left gold at home.
Yeah, so yeah, you find basically you find a merchant in the marketplace, but like it's a very small marketplace between the normal between the town center and the home front. There's a bit of a marketplace. It's mostly odds and curios and little things like that.
Trinkets, odds and ends,
That sort of thing.
thing.
I mean, some people call this junk, but I call it treasure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do find someone who uh, is able to procure magic items, like
Hell
a
yeah.
wizard who can create these things for you.
Nice.
And he manages to create it for you, but does ask for all of that. One, to pay the cost of the materials, and two, so he can make a little scratch.
Right, of course. Yeah. So I give him the requisite money.
Yeah, and there
Yeah.
you go. You got a magic item now.
Sick. Thank you, James. That is exactly what I was hoping for. So, I'm excited because I have Devil Sight, which just means that I can see through, which is great. I'm very excited. This is a good combo.
All right.
Okay.
Anybody
Now
else
what?
have any downtime actions?
Not really. Pitiful kind of just does what Pitiful does.
Fix up my home, do the normal shit. Yeah.
Is there anyone I can get into drinking contests with?
I'll drink.
Tiff, she'll lose.
Let me
Susano
see.
plays the flute for Celadol because we're gonna just be best friends in this hospital for a while.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
trying
like-
drinking.
I'll
You get
do.
into- You get into a
Actually-
drinking contest with Pitiful, except for the fact that he just never stops drinking, so it's kind of
That-
pointless.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
Well,
other
Well,
characters.
that's the thing. I was gonna say I'll chug beer out of my little.
You can
You
also
cheater.
No,
get into a drinking contest with the leader of the barbarians, a dwarven woman named Bulgra Horfrost.
Nope,
Hey,
I'm out.
Amen.
I'm out.
nice.
Let's do it.
Yeah. She's like, all right, you little thing, let's
Tiff
get
is
to
into
it.
Yeah, Tiff is into it too. She's in way over her head because her con saves are terrible.
But actually, if it's all right with you guys, I thought of something we can do now that Celadon and Susano are stuck in the hospital together.
We can
Oh,
laugh
what's
at
that?
them.
No,
Pull a prank.
no, I was going to say a scene for Susano.
Ooh.
Oh,
Sure.
So Susano, you know Celadol is like, from the time you've known him, he seems to be a bottomless well of innocence and, energy. He's the one that seems to be the heart of the party at times, who keeps people going when everyone's like, everything sucks.
I try.
But he's actually been a little down. Like, you can tell that when he's trying, he's really putting on a show, and when he thinks you're asleep, he's just like very mopey.
God damn it. I'll say that's probably why I started playing the at some point.
And
A few
he's
songs I picked up in the caves.
he kind of like he appreciates it and he likes listening to it, but you see him like eventually looks away. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm not. I just, it's nothing. I'm sorry.
Well, no, we're kind of stuck here together, so it's not nothing. You're gonna
If I have to deal with it, it's not nothing.
right.
Well, it's something I can't really talk about.
Susano looks around like, there's no one around here.
Yeah, like it's empty. He's like, it's going to change what you think of me.
He's bigger now.
Wait, what was that? Sorry. I
He
just heard-
said it's going to change what you think of me.
Oh, sorry. Well, that can't really happen. I say good in people, no matter what.
My name's not really Celadol.
Oh, evil. No.
Celadol was my older brother.
So it's like you're honoring him.
I accidentally got him killed.
Well, I mean, speaking from experience, it's not always one's fault.
I was out hunting, I did something stupid, and I got us attacked by a bear. And I just ran.
But he's your older brother, right?
Yes, but I should have been there to help him. Not just... I just froze up and I just ran away.
I'll have you know that if there were ever a situation where Snake needed to run away, and I stayed behind, I would die happy knowing that he was safe. So I think that no matter what happened, the fact that you're here right now and you're safe, I think he's gonna be damn proud of you.
I just don't know sometimes, you know? I mean, I always say that a smile better suits a hero, but I'm not a hero. Just some boy with a sword.
I think you've proven rightfully so that you came through quite often for us.
Well, how could I not? You guys are like my family. I mean, I
Well,
don't have a family anymore.
when I've always just had Snake, but I've come to feel like you guys are family, and I think that everyone we've lost up to now is probably glad that we found each other.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I think your brother would agree with you that smile always suits a hero. And Susanna just kind of smiles at him a little bit.
He smiles back and is like, so, you think I should tell the others?
I think that's a decision you'll have to make. It's not really something that's going to change how they look at you. You've proven that you're a good friend. Um, they might want to call you by your actual name, but to me it doesn't matter none.
My name's Emeris.
Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Amaris.
You too. If I had to sit in bed and have to listen to someone play the flute, I'm glad it's you.
Oh, I hope it's been a good play and it's stuff I've picked up in the caves. It sounds a lot better when it's in the caves. It kind of works with itself there a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we used to play songs out in the forest.
Yeah, it kind of works with the wilderness around you.
Yeah, sometimes you've. Oh, well, Celadol was always better with animals. He could convince the birds to sing when he was playing.
Yeah, those feathered bats are really, really beautiful music, but weird.
Feathered.
Really.
Oh, right. You came from that place where everyone lived underground.
Yeah, not
So
used to
that's
feathered
why
bats.
you like Key.
Oh, he just kind of like turns away a little bit, like blushing.
I see you two at the bar. You
Well,
might as well have hearts in your eyes, little thing.
she's a lot like me. We're both kind of separate from people. I, and I've known her for a long time. It's kind of hard not to like her.
I think she'll come around eventually.
Oh, I could hope.
Well, you know, just keep pushing forward.
Oh, keep
And
a
even if
smile on.
she doesn't, you know, still your friend.
Exactly, and that's good enough for me.
It's nice to get to talk to someone and, you know, hear my name again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's good to be away from all the craziness of the others.
Yeah. So, you wanted to tell me something. Well, you kept saying, oh no, I can't tell you, it's not my place. What did you mean by that?
Oh, here we go.
I just think that you and God, what was the snake guy's name again?
Renage.
I think that you and Renault should get to know each other a little bit more.
Of
I think that
course, he's really nice. I want to know him, of course. He's like going to be one of a part of the party. He's going to be a part of our family. He's going to be a good friend.
right part of the family. Right. Yeah, I think you and he will get along just well.
This is
I'm
adorable.
glad. Now I'm going to try and get some sleep.
That's a good idea. He just yawns.
I wasn't even close.
This is adorable.
uh,
Two people
Yeah, like, so when these two get out of the hospital, Saladol breaks that to everybody. He's like, I don't care what you call me now, but really, I'm Emeris.
I said it all.
You can call me Emeris, you can call me Saladol, whichever works. It's like
Yeah,
Susano
okay.
said, it's honoring his memory.
I said it all.
It's just like we
Tiff
used to
is-
call you Dave.
I still call him Dave sometimes.
So, you guys aren't mad at me for lying?
Dude, I don't think anyone has any right to be mad at you. You're kind of the most stable member of this whole party.
I would just take my mask off and creepily smile at him. Yeah.
Right. Well, we were going to talk about warlocks or something?
Yeah, we were going to let the warlocks do their thing. Good people, you know.
And, like, on command you hear, you hear, you rang.
Warlocks, good
God,
people.
And
jeez,
Nettle
you know,
Touch
you're
is
not
right
helping your
behind you.
case. Yeah, you're not helping your case by being all shit. And like she just like turns around and is like, good to see you. We want to build your guild hall, and we want you to
Excellent.
chop down the forest.
You want me to, or do you want my friends on the other side to?
Oh, I don't know. How good are you with an axe? Of course I want your friends on. And I like look back at the party with like, what is this bitch
All
on?
right.
Like, kind of look.
Then I'm going to need a drop of blood from everybody involved.
No, you don't.
Yes,
No, you
I
You
do.
summoned those demons beforehand.
Yes, but those ones went off because they wanted to kill things. I didn't command them to do anything.
Okay, but
If
why
you're going
us?
to if you're going to have these demons under your control, then you're going to need your blood.
Can I roll
Now-
insight?
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
would like to roll insight. I'm a warlock.
23.
Hold on.
She's bullshitting.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
wants to
Hey, I rolled a nat 20.
she
Yeah.
wants
Ooh,
to
yeah, she's definitely.
she
fucking
wants to
bullshitting.
basically have your blood on hand so she can force pacts if she wants.
I
I'm
look at her and
Kiss
I
my
like
ass.
I look at her and I show her my forearm. I'm like, sorry, I'm already taken, darling.
Oh, drat. And here
You're
I thought
the
I had a bunch
scariest
of
thing I've seen since, that chipmunk that ran by about 10 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, and she is like the stereotypical tiefling warlock.
Yeah,
She's like,
I'm just like-
drat, I thought I had a bunch of bumblers, but I see some of you are versed in our arts.
I'm
I
like,
just already have a god.
I look at you with this look of like,
Gods.
a god?
Yeah,
Like,
she just
what the
laughs and
fuck?
is like,
Alright.
gods? What have they done for anybody except cause strife? At least
Oh, no,
demons are
They let me
plain
make
about
like
it.
hammer.
I look at her and I'm like, oh no, I'm just bound to the mother. You know, the person who's making sure we're safe. You want to summon those demons?
Let's get to it. I'm getting bored just standing here. And I can smell that paladin around here somewhere.
Ha ha ha.
Smells of ignorance and sword oil.
Huh.
Good
Rip.
roll.
I like that. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, she just takes you out to in the middle of the woods and like
Mhm.
starts taking out like this red sand and making her circle. And like she normally has just like plain dull red eyes, but they like
Mhm.
roll back and you see them turn into this like burning orange as she's
Yeah.
like lifted off the ground. It's like, you know.
I'm gonna lean over to Tiff and say, if the eyes are the window to the soul, then hers must be red and.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
that's
Oh.
that's a
Oh,
very accurate
which
thing.
one of you can speak infernal?
Yep.
I think I can.
Yeah,
Maybe.
for your sake, she's like, and let the 9 gates be thrown wide. Give unto me your power, for we are bound, blood for blood, and let us turn these woods to ash.
Yeah, Tiff is like writing all of this down. Fucking cool.
But we need the wood. Don't burn.
And
No.
then just the gate opens as a bunch of fucking demons, not devils, like fucking demons, just come screaming out of it and just start ripping and vomiting fire on every tree they can find.
Does she have them under control?
Yes, but she's also cackling like a maniac.
Keep them under control. We have children around here.
I look over at Doc and I'm like, man, we might as well have just gotten the fire boy to do this.
I wish I could have.
As I'm fucking holding my lighter.
Yeah, somewhere in the background you hear, "Fuck!"
Yeah, no, I'm not actually serious about bringing him. He would burn this whole place
Yeah,
down.
Sigurd would have
Don't
gone a
get me
little
wrong.
overboard.
Don't get me wrong, I'd love to burn this fucking place to the ground.
I don't have anything behind it. Oh well.
I mean, that's pretty much what it would look like after.
A whole bunch of nothing.
White ash.
It's a map about nothing.
Oh,
It's
oh.
about nothing. Well, that settles that, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to pack up and see what this next adventure is, where we have to go deal with a bunch of assholes?
A bunch of fae.
What's a fae?
We don't know that. Not yet.
What happens when you have to deal with a bunch of warlocks, but they don't have a...
I mean, technically, yeah, you guys don't know
Am
that
I
you're gonna
wrong?
have to deal with fae. Well, actually, technically, if you're talking about pixies, they're the soul of dead children.
As I said, they don't have a god.
Well, that or their souls were just caught up in the capricious currents of the Feywilds.
Are you all ready to go have an adventure?
It's adventure time.
It's adventure time.
Saladol's like, oh, I'll go grab Renage.
I don't trust that snake boy.
I like him.
I
He
do
was-
trust him.
He
I
was
like him.
upfront and personal with me about his disdain for me. I can respect someone who does that.
Alright.
So I could see you coming from a mile away.
He's the closest thing I have to a friend here. So if I go, he goes.
Sounds good.
So,
Let's pack up the old let's go.
As
Back
we
up
walk
this
through the fucking
old
portal.
something.
Yeah.
Un
Tiff,
momento. Real
yeah,
quick.
Tiff starts striding. Yeah,
Stop.
Tiff starts like very confidently striding towards the portal.
Can I walk in behind the snake man?
Yes.
'Cause I don't trust the snake man.
That's racist.
I know. I just know someone is suspicious. Also, I'm a turtle. I don't like snakes.
I mean, yeah, you can do that. Sorry, I'm trying to get a picture
tried to-
real quick.
Snake. You can't give. I did try. Didn't I?
Try what?
I did try to eat and kill Snake when we first met him.
Yeah, you just don't like snakes.
I kind of have to deal with the other snake because that snake kicks ass. Isn't that right, Susanna? That snake is probably
Which
the
snake?
hardest hitting fucking member of this party.
Sorry, I thought I was gonna sneeze there.
Bless you.
No, I didn't. I've got that
Bless you.
fucking awful feeling where it's like, am I gonna sneeze?
It's okay.
Yes.
You'll be alright.
No. Who knows? But
Well-
yeah. You guys get up to the portal, and there's maybe a group coming back that's got like a wagon full of just like cheese that they managed to procure from somewhere.
Cheese?
Cheese wheels.
I look at them and I'm like, Why didn't you just put that in cloud storage?
Cause Cloud, yeah, one of them who's like a. Actually, what would he be? This one is like a gith.
Mm-hmm.
Just
A
snort.
gift?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ugh.
Well,
We're taking everybody. Fuck.
just snorts in
Barely.
his and snaps his fingers to open cloud storage, and it's just full of cows.
Yes.
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 I'm
I
like,
approve.
good
There
answer.
There better be fucking steak when we come back.
Yeah, they're just like. "Meow,
Yeah.
meow."
I'm
No, these are
like-
dairy cows. These aren't
Hell
meat
yeah.
cows.
You can make a dairy cow meat.
Yeah, it's just not gonna be very good.
I'm like, that's a great
It's
answer.
grain fed.
Also, you're really tall and scary. What's your name?
Anjasar.
Jasar. Awesome. Well, you keep being real big and scary. We're about
Be well, thing.
Thing. Wow.
you
I'm a
too, thing. And like just hops in the portal because she has no idea what to say to this big scary thing.
I mean, what do you say to a gith of
Yeah,
all
right?
things?
You say, go have a nice drink and we'll never meet again.
You say,
Yeah.
"Oh God, do not enslave me."
yeah. You look at the gif and you go, bye.
You
We had
say-
one of those as pets.
No, we did not have the gif as pets. Hell no, that's impossible.
You know, the gith were probably one of the few things that actually scared you guys.
Oh yeah. No, we were terrified of gif.
Yeah, they would come. You would hear the theoretical beep beep of their cars and be like, "Oh God."
Beep boop, they're in a jupe, get the fuck out the
Alrighty, what's our environment like?
All right, well, you guys step through the portal and oh my God, would you behave?
No.
Yeah.
Refuse.
No, not you
Yeah,
guys.
bitch.
Not you guys. Fucking. What's it called?
Roll
Roll20. So yeah, you guys step through the portal, and you find yourself just in a forest. Just
It's
giant
home!
trees, just extending way, way up into the sky.
I am always
Everything is.
casting detect.
Oh,
I'm
this.
always
Everything
detect
here
magic.
is magic. This is like a.
Ah,
You feel the power of the Fae exuding
make-
throughout this place.
may I make a insight roll to
Mhm.
know where I am? Okay, let me do this real
While
quick.
you do that, I'm going to do a quick cutaway scene.
Okay.
We see the party, the blue of the portal opening up, and everybody steps out. For once, you're not falling down or immediately in a battle or have a bunch of guards being like, "The fuck?" But it slowly pans up, and we go across the sky, and we see 3 flying machines, like small jets, just. And we don't see like who's in them or anything, but we hear the like beep beep of a communicator. Someone picks up, and we don't see anything. It's like, "This is operator calling to 5W. Unit 5W, please respond." 5W responding. "We have detected anomalous magic. There are anomalous magic readings in Sector 14. Please investigate immediately." Operator, my unit has been tasked with establishing contact with all other objectives have been superseded. Proceed to Sector 14 immediately, 5W. Understood, operator. And then we hear another voice being like, "Really? We're going that quick? Isn't that a little dumb? Emotions are unbecoming, 6J. Sorry, ma'am." And then the 3 mechanical flying machines turn and fly off, and then we cut back to you guys.
Oh fuck, guys. Do I recognize it as the Feywilds?
This is not the Fey Wilds. This is just a place steeped in magic.
In Fey magic?
Would that be okay, Mr.
Yes.
So yeah, so it is Fey magic though? I
Yes.
recognize?
This is like, you're pretty sure you're like, "Oh God, careful what you touch. It might actually be a fairy in disguise."
Yeah, I'm like, hey guys, oh fuck, we're in a Fey Woods.
As you see me
Don't touch
already,
anything!
as you see me already touching stuff.
Doc! Or not Doc, sorry. Foxes! No, don't! Like, Tiff, like, has a look of terror on her face that you haven't seen. She's like, I know magic, guys. I know real powerful magic. We're in a bad spot.
Oh, look at the little lovelies!
Oh, fuck, run!
As you,
Tiff is just, like, running in a heat.
you,
Jesus.
and out of like a tree, just boop, right in front of you.
We don't want any, okay? Sorry. We're sorry we're here. We just want to not be...
You're so cute!
Yes, we're very cute. I'm very sorry, though. We
Oh,
can't stay...
and
we've
there's
got a
lots
lot
of you. Hold
Huh?
on, don't be rude. Let me... One,
Not being rude.
2, 3, 4... Oh, I've never seen so many mortals in one place.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Hey, do you mind if we,
Do you have a
take
name? What's your name?
Can I talk to my friends real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
I, like-
so excited.
I gather everyone in a circle, like, don't say anything, don't do anything. We are so fucked. Let me handle
And this
I'll
thing
go
is like
understand.
barely a foot tall and is just dancing in the air between you all, just like jumping in the air with excitement.
As you see me stuffing fucking herbs, mushrooms, and everything in my bag.
Hey! Nobody said you could take those.
Foxes, put that down right now!
You got pretty wings.
Sakura.
I do, don't I? What's your name?
Oh, God.
Oh, call me Sakura.
Oh, that's a lovely one. My name is Feush. And she like holds out it holds out its tiny little hand.
Mm-hmm.
I shake it.
It just feels like just tiny little hand. She's like, so you're Sakura? What about the rest of yous? Surely you got names.
I look at Fayush and I'm like, I'm gonna make an insight check.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be like, are you particularly hospitable?
You know that it's very dangerous to ever tell a Fae your name.
Oh yeah,
Because
no, I know
everything that the Fae do revolves around names.
that. Yeah.
I tell her my name is Cunning.
She's like, could say that's a rather cunning name. And then
just
just
gonna
like
walk
twinkles
away.
away and then comes back. She's
Yeah.
like, but she's like, oh, I'm nice. I'm not like the other ones, trust me. All they want to do is play. But I'm tired of this cramped old forest. I want to go somewhere fun and I want to go somewhere new.
My insight check. How's that doing for me?
Yeah, you can see that, like, if she, he, whatever the fuck, it's hard to tell with Faye,
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do something, they'd have done it by now, especially because one of them had actually interfered with their forest.
Yeah.
That's grounds for being turned into, like, a bush.
I'm like, okay. What was its name again?
Fayush.
Fayush. Like, okay, Fayush. I'm going to offer an olive branch of trust. I
Well,
shouldn't be doing this by
where
all
is it?
accounts because I know what it's like. I know what you folks are like. No offense, not you folks in any shit.
Also, you've met the Fae before. Well, then you know that
Yeah.
we pixies love to play.
Yeah, I also know that you pixies love to get people's names. Becomes a bit of a problem for us who happen to give you our names.
Exactly. Names are power to the Fae. That's why I was being nice when I offered you mine. So my true name, and if any of you are actually powerful in Fae magics, you'd be able to control me. But you we mortals are never powerful enough for that.
Tiff lets just a single spark of magic out of her finger, and she's like, oh, sorry about that.
That's the arcane. Oh, it smells pretty.
Yeah. It's a new perfume.
Anyways,
So,
if you're planning to go through this forest for any amount of time, you're gonna run into a lot of pixies, and probably a lot worse things than me.
mhm.
So I've got an idea. My little,
Okay.
oh please, my little saplings, let me be your branch. Bind yourselves to me is nothing much, it just means no other pixie can touch you, 'cause you're mine, 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 mine.
Can I roll insight on that?
Yes.
Dude, Tiff is so not comfortable with this situation.
15.
You know enough about fairies that, yes, if someone is quote-unquote claimed by another, it's a very, very big faux pas in their society to mess with that person.
And would I know what declining this offer would entail?
A very angry fairy.
Yeah, I look and I'm just like, okay, guys, so we have one option here, and that is to give her our name. This is this is not exactly what I'm looking for, but I guess this is what we're doing. And like Tiff, in like almost a mimic of her normal, like throws out her hand, like overjoyed. Hi, I'm Tiff. She like just bravados her way through it. She's clearly fucking terrified. She's like, "Hi, I'm Tiff Talibre. Pleasure to meet you."
She gently takes your hands like, Div to libre, as I say, for I'm feush, and together we're going to be the most beautiful of friends. Oh, my darling little saplings.
Tiff just looks like, "Ah, oh, Jesus Christ!" Like,
So I don't scare her.
No.
no, dude, none of us scare her.
You're in her neighborhood.
We are in the land of the pixies,
You're in
facing
her
a pixie.
hood. You don't
Yeah.
scare her in her
Imagine
hood.
walking into a dragon walk. Like, do I scare it? And the Sphinx is like, bitch, no, you're a child now. Literally, you're a baby.
Yeah.
Out. And the dragon's just like,
Yeah, Renage actually introduces himself in Sylvan. And
Oh, Tiff. You know what? Actually, Tiff would do that.
yeah, the
too.
pixie goes, oh, look at this one. I looks like a little sneaky does. And he speaks our tongue.
I look over. I say in Sylvan, that makes two of us.
Oh, this is such a rarity. Oh, everyone's going to be so jealous of me. They'll be like, oh, Feush, you got the brilliant little mortals in your palm. And I'll be like, that's damn right I do.
I mean, out of game, I technically didn't lie, so I just didn't,
Yeah.
give her
Always
my
doing
good
all.
name.
That's the thing with the
Shazam.
Fae is they know when they live for obfuscation and obtuseness. They can't lie, but they don't have to necessarily tell the whole truth.
We also don't have to tell the full truth to them either.
Nope.
I didn't, so they have no power over me.
You're also not claimed. Susanna looks around and is like, oh, we showing off. And he looks to the Fae, and to everyone, like, to everyone who doesn't know Primordial, it just sounds like rocks grinding, and he gives his name in Primordial tongue of...
I speak primordial.
She's like,
baby.
ew,
Terran.
that thing. Yeah, I don't like that. But I do understand.
Good.
I
But
like
really,
what you're trying to do, but can you ever just speak in a pretty language? That rock tone is just, yuck.
I learned it from the rocks where I lived.
Woo! I'm going to have to learn from you, sapling.
Kind of shivers a little bit. But I'm Susanna.
So we got Susanna, Tiff, Renage, Cunning. Rather cunning choice of words there, aren't you? No, because she's
Sakura.
like, Sakura. Oh, 'cause she knows you're not telling the whole truth.
I don't
Yeah.
have to.
No, she knows. That's why she's like, you're kind of smart. And then like, Celadol gives his name. He's like, and this is the kind of creepy thing. Feush, when he's like, I'm Celadol, floats around him and it's like, no, you ain't. It's not your name. He's like, you can't give me someone else's name. I don't care if you've been having it for a long time. Now tell me what your name is. I was like, fine, it's Maris. See, it's all so much better when you tell the truth. Quick fact for all of yous who don't know about me, kin. the Fae can't lie. So everything I've ever said to you is the 100% God's honest truth.
100%, right? You mean the 90% with a 10% omitted because it's not necessary to hear.
Omissions of lies ain't lies, darling.
No, I understand, but I don't think it's 100% the truth. And just like shoots like a big grin.
She grins and is like, I like you. Oh, they're all gonna be so jealous of me. Anyway. Oh, pretty birdie. What's your name, pretty birdie?
Another round for the bird.
Yeah, Pitiful has just been basically ignoring this Fae the whole time. Completely just like he's actually in a fucking tree at this point, just sitting there swinging his feet, looking down at the proceedings. And when addressed, he just, if when directly addressed, like he just kind of like uh he looks or he actually is going to you know what his answer to this is going to be very pitiful.
Aww.
In the sense that he is going to do something that is very
He just
much in his
burps.
character. Yeah, he does. He just makes that burping sound. Can't tell if it's a true, if it's actually. And this is
You know what?
here's a fun question. Being that they are all about deception and what have you, how much would they know about Kenku and the sort of mercurial nature of names with Kenku anyway?
Anything you tell her, it's more about what you're trying to put across. It's not so much the words as it is, are you actually trying to meet her halfway and give her something? Because that's what the Fae want, is they want something given to them. It's all part of this elaborate gift-giving ritual that they have.
Yo, is it just me, or is it like that
Hmm?
I
a crown of thorn or a crown of flowers?
I think
Oh,
I think pitiful.
she probably
I
is
think
like just picking flowers and putting them in his hair, in his feathers.
pitiful just looks at her and goes, "Another round for the funny birdie." And holds his hand out like he's asking for some kind of fucking drink.
Oh, I've heard of you things. My friend told me. My friend's a unicorn.
Aw.
I'm gonna ask her, hey, can I take
My friend's a
can I pick more
unicorn.
flowers?
You want what, darling?
Can I pick more flowers?
Hmm. Well, just be careful, little sapling. Don't hurt them. Make sure they can come back next year.
I'm going for the buds, man. I'm just going for whatever I can.
She gives you like a pound. She's like, my darling little saplings never listen to me.
No,
They're
no, I'm
such.
going for tops.
Oh,
Bud is
okay. I thought you meant bulbs, as in
top.
the root.
Bud is top, bulb is bottom.
Whoa, whoa! I didn't know
She's
if they
like,
were gay.
rude.
I'm gonna beat you when I find you.
But, she's like, just don't hurt them, darling. Everyone will understand. Mostly because if they try to touch you, then I'm going to get very angry very quick. Anyway, I've got everybody's name. You know what that means? It's time for us to make our packed little ones. Now join your hands together, like a big pile. Yeah, come on, everybody put a hand in the pile. Even you, pretty birdie.
I'll put a mage hand.
That don't count. Don't make me dispel that.
I'll put an illusionary image of my hand.
Yeah, you forgot.
You forgot that they are basically creatures of magic.
Oh, I know.
You forgot Gunner.
Oh,
The
I'm
little gnome in the
sorry.
background.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to Gunner being part of the game yet.
I'm being
Wow.
ironic because mage hand counts as a hand.
Yeah, she'd still be like, no. And
No,
yeah,
bitch.
she like says something. And she's like, wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I forgot the pretty little one. And like this little butterfly flower thing floats up right into your face, squeaks, and is like, all right, second verse, same as the first. I need a name.
Um, would you believe me if I told you I didn't rightly know?
Hmm.
I
know your
go
name.
by Squeak, but I'm
That's
not
good
sure
enough.
that's me.
I just need something I can call you by. Everything involving us is about giving. You give me your name, I give you my name. You all give me your hands in this pact. I give you my protection.
Can I slip my lead gloves off?
What?
I was joking. It's a joke.
But yeah, she's like, now everybody put real hands in the pile. No magic.
I start clapping my hands.
Do you
Kidding.
want me to
I'm
throw you
kidding.
into the trees?
I'm kidding.
Do you want me to summon like 6 blink dogs? Angry, hungry ones, I might add.
I put my hand in. I look at everyone.
I'll have my hand in.
Yeah, Renage just immediately puts in like, she's serious about the blink dogs.
Yes,
here-
she is 100% about the blink dog.
My hand is already in.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, pitiful if he sees Tiff has looked at him like pretty much like, hey, do this. He's gonna do it because it's.
Yeah, Tiff is like clearly.
Alright.
You have not seen Tiff.
you're cutting out.
Alright, you've not seen Tiff this.
Shaken.
Wow.
She's very much like, oh fuck, just do whatever we gotta do, guys.
So, yeah, everybody puts their hands in the circle, and Feush starts, like, flying around it in different little patterns as she talks. She's like, by these words are we one. By our hands shall we be bound. A branch for the saplings, that they may grow into the sun. See, now that wasn't so bad, was it?
Ah! Ah! Ah!
And then she,
Pitiful
like,
is literally sleeping.
she floats
Now-
over and starts pulling out flowers and puts one in everybody's hair, or approximation of hair. And it's like,
I don't
now
have
wear
one. This is
these all the time.
Tiff is like, can I around? I think that look a little better.
Oh, that would look so precious on you. Yes, yes, yes. I'll start making one right away. Now, important thing. If you need anything, if something's going wrong, you just call for me and I'll come running. But I'm not leaving right now. No, that'd be downright rude of me. What are you doing here anyway?
I just tell her the full fucking truth about what's going on in the world and the multiverse.
another world's
I-
going to
I
die.
exposition vomit.
Yeah, she looks concerned. She's like, so that's why we've been losing portals in and out of the Feywilds. Oh, that's right, devilish of those little things.
Yeah, they're kind of a whole bunch of cunts. Like, we should probably do something about them.
Oh,
You
if
might
I ever got my
explain why
hands
this-
around them. Oh, I'd turn them all into... Oh, I'd turn them all into stinkweeds.
You might explain why this place is still intact.
Or she would say, like, that's a long story, darling, but essentially there are folks that used to live here that were right rude to us. And so we retreated back into the wilds, came back later, and all of their cold iron machines were dead. And most of them, too. Some of them live up in the mountains still, and there are still some of these, like, oh, these men of iron. They come out of the skies on their flying machines, spouting this and that about glory to mankind.
Wait, so you killed them? Wait, so the enemy's gone?
We didn't
No,
kill
there's-
them. They killed themselves. Them and their
No.
downright nasty machines made of
No,
the cold iron.
so we don't have to worry about this world then.
No, she's not what he's talking about.
That the history.
This is an old
So,
civilization that was here. before.
Question for you.
Answers probably.
One, is there anybody who could use saving, who also wouldn't turn an entire continent of people into frogs and or plants?
No, that's just mean. We wouldn't turn all of you into frogs, only those who didn't want to play.
Ah, check plus on that one. We're not taking you folks home.
That's
Second
just
question.
rude.
Listen,
didn't
any
let
talk
me
about turning
finish.
people into animals or plants or anything in between, even rocks, I am not a fan of.
Fine, I'll have to tell the peoples when we get to my village not to play with them. But there is one problem we have, and I don't rightly know the answer to.
Mm-hmm.
A little insight on that, by the way,
Yes.
because I don't believe a fucking word of what she
No,
said.
she's telling the truth.
Yeah,
They don't
she is
lie.
telling the truth.
That people won't do it.
Like, what she was saying is basically, as long as someone played with them, they wouldn't hurt them.
I'm saying the playing
Oh.
would be turning people into frogs.
Yeah, that's a very valid concern.
I'm asking with a natural 20 insight.
Yes.
What does she mean by playing?
Playing, she would explain, is playing. They just want to play games. They want to play
games,
hide and like human games, things like hide and seek, ring around the rosies. They just
Kids, I
want
don't
to.
believe you. I don't believe you at all.
I'm telling you the God's honest truth. The pixies
Yeah,
just
you
want
have
to
to.
play,
Either way, there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh,
Right.
you're not wrong.
and
I'm just.
they can't lie.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
The only reason they
You're-
would turn you into something is because you upset them in some way.
Yeah.
And she said it's okay if I keep gathering stuff.
She said, be very gentle, and she will tell you when it's enough. And she's going to tell you it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Get as much as she allows me to get.
It's not a whole lot. It's about half that bag.
I'm not gonna fucking complain.
And
Fate Wild magic shit, dude, that makes the best potion.
But then immediately she's like, all right, stop. Not one more little petal.
I'm like, my second question actually relates to the pebbles and everything else here. We have a lot of people who are very, very hungry and thirsty back home. I mean, we've sort of sorted it.
Little saplings wilting. Oh, we can't have
yeah.
that.
Are you guys? Could you help with that?
I'll tell you what, let's go to me village, and I'll tell you along the way how ye can help us, and we can help ye. Sound good?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy. I haven't had sapling in forever.
I don't like the fact that you said we haven't had sapling forever.
Because
that makes it sound like you want to eat me.
I'm gonna outright ask, do you eat people?
No, I meant to say we never have any saplings come through that actually want to, play or be bound to us, because every time they come through, they just got their filthy little grubby hands on weapons like, oh, I got me a bow. Look at this. All the arrowheads are made of cold iron because I'm a right cunt.
As I hold on to my weapons, crying under my mask.
Yeah, they're not cold iron, though. That's what they're afraid of.
Wait. Cold iron exists here, you say?
Cold iron exists in D&D, and it's the only thing that will hurt that'll hurt a fae.
This specific world.
Yes.
Yeah, he just said it.
Yes, then,
That's why they ran back to the Feywilds and left this world behind, was they had created machines and weapons from cold iron to get rid of the fae.
I was like, oh, if there's cold iron weapons anywhere, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna take that. But nah, there ain't shit here.
Not in the
we're
forest.
in the middle of the wilds.
Yeah, she's like, come with me, come with me. So, what we got as a problem is hags. Big old coven of them coming through, and normally they don't do much to us, but they've been making the wild sick, darlings.
We could break.
And now that the wilds are getting sick, there's all sorts of nasty things coming through. Fomorians, red caps, the worst.
What's a red?
Oh, red cap. Oh, they kind of look like a little goblin creature, but they got a little red hat in, and they have to bathe that hat in the blood of humanoids, or else they die.
Oh, so take his hat off.
We do that when we can. It's fun to watch them squirm.
I like you.
And then those Fomorians, they're like people or elves, kinda, but like gross. They're all about rot and disease and nastiness, and they turn the soil all spongy and gross. And then nothing can grow from it.
I
Sounds like a bunch of incredibly.
thought this doesn't sound right.
And now, these dumb hags and their petty little magics, They've been summoning more of these bad things. I don't know where these hags even came from. There's only one hag in all these forests, and now there's like 5 of them, and they ain't even green hags. All of them, every last one of them is a night hag. Oh,
Ugh.
sorry. Yeah, we can wrap up. Sorry.
Awesome.
That's probably where we're gonna wrap up, is her taking you towards the village and just chewing your
Right
ear
on.
off about every little thing. Like, you see a bunny and she goes off and chases it.
I
And then
would
comes
probably
back
yeah.
holding the bunny. Except the bunny is now made out of twigs.
I don't like this lady anymore.
Very Fey Wilds of her.
Hey, it didn't let her play.
It's fair. What's your name, little bunny? Twitch, twitch. Oh, yep, nope, that's not your name.
That would count for a bunny.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's sorry I didn't mean to go so late. I like playing fish.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, let's start our sign-offs. Let's start with actually, you know what? Let's start with you, Mike. And I don't think anyone's ever started with you.
I've been started with like maybe once. Sage! Stop it! Sorry, I have a friend over. Hi everybody, my name is Mike, also known as Win 5 Get 1 Free. You can catch me on Monday nights where I get to play Slef, the lovable rat man who's having a real bad time right now. Hi! You can also catch me on Tuesday nights where I get to play Tiff Libre, the sweet cinnamon bun who needs to be protected at all costs and had a drunken meltdown today.
I
Hi!
was also having a really tough time.
Yeah, exactly. My characters tend to have tough times at the same time. It's weird. Let's see here. You can catch me on Justice Grab Bag anytime we do it. The last thing that we did was good old fashioned Flesh and Fire, where I got to play Beef. We might be doing other stuff. Maybe look at Jesta for that one. But yeah. Other than that, catch me on SoundCloud under SoundCloud/thathoon caps, and you can catch me Stramdex next week. Stramdex on Thursday next week, so you can catch me that too. That's me.
All right. Let's go on to Brian.
Yes, I'm playing Sakura, the mystic halfling, who is quite intrigued now that she's actually met a fairy. This could be interesting. She might make a new friend. But also you can find me on Mondays playing Shaba Young and the Fire Shrike, as we just finished a large family powwow. Let's put it that way.
You tried to kill yourself.
Hey, that wasn't the actual idea. I knew I'd get saved. Nurture let me die. But yeah, you can find me there playing her, and any one shots we might have that I can make it to, definitely. And what's it called? The Legends of Stramdax. That's supposed to be coming up. Yeah, I'll be playing in that one. That'll be interesting. Get to play a Jin. Should be fun.
All right, let's move on to our new boy, who I'm very upset I forgot, Cyrus.
Hey guys, my name's Cyrus Smith. So other than playing Squeak, whose real name may or may not actually be Squeak, that's all she knows right now. Here, Saturday nights, I play October Sky in Apocalypse World, where we literally just punched a mob boss in the face, and he couldn't do much about it.
With a
And
chainsaw.
yes, with Ass Destroyer. And then let's see. Also, I need to finish up a one shot of Halo Reach. That will have to get figured out sometime another week. Otherwise, you can catch me on YouTube. I have just recently started uploading again. I'm doing a Let's Play of Dust and Elysian Tale, and I hope to have other stuff in the works soon. So that's me.
All right, let's move on to Jester, Justa.
Hola, everybody. I am Zerat the Jester King. You can find me here on Monday nights running Fire, my favorite band of crazy space pirates who indeed had a very dramatic night last night. Catch the video if you didn't get to see it live. Uh, One of our better episodes, I must say. You can also catch me here on Tuesday nights doing a drunken bird style with Pitiful, the drunken master Kinku, who is just the king of random. Sometimes. You can also catch me on the occasions where we run some Justice Grab Bag. We've been doing Flush of Fire. It might be a couple weeks before we do something again. It may be something different this time, or it may be the same thing. I don't know. We'll talk about that. I was going to announce this last night. I did not remember it, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We do actually have an official logo for the Fire Strike that we had done, and sometime in the near future we should be debuting that. So look for that as we go forward. You can also catch me on my other Twitch channel of Zerat, where I swear I stream sometimes. I swear I do. As much Fallout 4 as I've been playing because I rediscovered the craziness there, I should probably just stream that. But in any case, that then there is I. Moving it
All
right
right.
along.
I think that leaves, last but certainly not least.
Two
Uh,
people.
oh yeah, we haven't done. Let's do Fox since we haven't done him yet.
Hello, I'm Doc. I play Fox U. Uh, I don't know if it's safe to talk about yet, but I soon should be playing Dr. Zaxis. Very soon, if a certain someone is running their game soon.
Ah.
I'm looking at you.
I'm letting you do your thing, and then it'll get to.
But other than that, I'm still debating whether or not I should even get my equipment working. I'm gonna! I swear! That'll be me.
All right, and now, last but certainly not least, because I wanted him to make his announcement, let us
Ooh.
go to Daniel or Sassy or whatever the hell he wants people to
Yeah,
call
that's
him.
cool. I'm Daniel, Sassy McNasty. That's whatevs. I play Susano, the once sleepy boy with a snake, the now reality slamming home and sobering him up to everything. Who's making friends with Celadol and sobering up Tiff whenever he can. uh, who is very confused in the Feywild. Uh, on Mondays you can catch me as Tavis, who is trying to make his life work within the Fire Strike. He's doing what he can to help them out in his diplomatic ways. And I will be there on Thursdays as Johan Gillian, the rogue who values the stories behind an object more than their material value. And yes, as the announcement's supposed to be starting at least this Saturday, um, I'm hoping to hold a session 0. I'm going to be starting to run my own campaign. Hopefully, if I can do it, it's going to be a challenge, but I like it. It's going to be called A Spark of Fate. Came up with the name finally. And yeah, it's a bunch of people pulled from their own worlds to essentially, the way I want to put it is run a gauntlet, but they're going to be given tasks that they have to perform, and whichever side can get their tasks performed first is the winning side. It's weird. Put it weird. Putting it weird. Putting it that way sounds weird, but it'll make more sense as I describe the story as we're setting everything up. But yeah. And then on Flesh and Fire, whenever that comes back, I'll be Harbinger, the speaker for the mother that is the maelstrom in the sky. Yeah.
All right,
Excitement.
and I think that leaves it to me. Uh, hi ho, friendolas. My name is James, also known as Nightheart, and I have been the magnanimous and beautiful and all-around perfect DM tonight, who makes no mistakes and everybody loves. Um, you can also catch me here on Mondays, where I get to play Esle Soroval, the C-pop star with the heart of gold, who has the incurable space aids. And oh my god, he just saved like 3 people because he got to like fly around and do star shaman shit because he can breathe in space. And also, we are fucked. Uh,
Yeah.
More more so than usual. So come and see how we pull our asses out of the fire this time. And I will also be here on Thursday where I get to play Seifel, the little Tibbet Duskblade, who is a guy who can turn into a kitty cat. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. And I'm also here on Saturdays where I get to play everybody's favorite little sociopath, Knowing, in Justice Grab Bag of Flesh and Fire, one of my favorite games that we play on this channel. And I'm also here for various one-shots and other stuff like that. But other than that, I think that's it. So, can I get an R.I.P. Daisy from folks?
What?
R.I.P.
Daisy!
Daisy!